5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Motherfucking world traveler Ari Shaffir.
That's such a nice way to start.
Dude,
Could that be a new theme song?
you did one of the most puzzling and fascinating and admirable things any of my friends has ever done.
What's
you
that?
checked out.
Yeah.
You checked out for 4 months.
Yeah.
You really checked out. You got rid of your phone. You didn't answer any emails. You're like, I am going to disappear for 4 months.
Yeah.
You didn't even give a time frame.
No.
You just said, just gonna go do
I've
this.
said like 1 to 3-ish or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
1 to maybe 2. I don't know. Just we'll see.
Did you get the inspiration from the Henry Rollins podcast?
No, I was already going to do it.
Wow.
Yeah, when he said like, come see me in December, I think he was having shows at Largo. And I was like, oh, I'm already going to be. I think I'll be gone by then.
Wow.
I was waiting until I finished off the work I had to do. Do my special.
Right.
Finish off a season of that show. Just like get it. So I'm not like just leaving. I'm not chappelling anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Chappelling anybody. It's a verb.
Yeah.
Dude, that Rollins podcast you did was one of my all-time favorite ones of yours.
It's great. It inspired me while I was out there, though.
Your podcast is great.
Thanks,
it's
buddy.
really good. It's really good.
You like the format? Trying
it's
to just
fucking
take a subject
great.
and
It's great. I love your intros. You're fucking cooking onions and just talking.
Yeah.
It's so raw. It's a really good podcast, man. You've done an amazing job with it.
Thanks.
I like your music selection
Thanks,
when you
I'll
bring in
think
the
about it.
guests.
Yeah.
No, you do a great job with it. Like, whenever the guest comes up, I was like, okay, what kind of fucking song is he gonna play?
Yeah. Ingram said it once. I did one with him about having diabetes, and he was like, "Did you pour some sugar on me at the beginning of the podcast about diabetes?" Like, yeah, man. Yeah. You gotta have something like that goes.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Rick Ingram is one of the most underrated guys out there.
Yeah.
I've seen him kill at the Comedy Store lately.
He kills hard enough for people have always said, "Can you not put me on after him?"
Pussies.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
He's a funny dude.
Mm-hmm.
Very funny dude. Good guy too.
Yeah, but yeah, that Rollins thing, I did use some of that while I was out there. That when people say like, "What are you doing out here?"
Yeah.
I tried it a few times. I'm like, "I'm here to meet you," and it just gets a conversation going. Because they want to know. I think with him it was more his celebrity, but with it's just like, what you're white. What are you doing here?
Right. What are you doing
In some
here,
small
man?
town in Nowheresville.
Did you feel threatened anywhere?
Any sort of threatened, this is a good question. Any sort of like threatening I felt was just me. It wasn't real. It was me looking at people that don't look like me and going, oh, I'm scared. There are others. And then you find out like Myanmar is, 90-something% Buddhist.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a massive part of their culture.
Is that where you went first?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why'd you pick that place?
Best weather.
Oh.
I got my ticket the day before, so I just didn't want to go somewhere where it's going to be raining.
Wow.
So Myanmar had 10 days of clear, and I was like, I'm headed to Myanmar, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. It was great, though.
So what do you do? Like, how do you set this up? Do you set up
Picked a region.
a region?
Yeah. It caked out between South America and Southeast Asia.
You just decided like that looks like a good time of the year to be there?
Yeah, exactly. I would love to go to Europe, fucking backpack around Europe.
But not in January.
Not in January, February.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not going to be enjoyable.
Whenever I think of Europe, even though I've been to Europe and I love it, I think of World War II movies.
Yeah, them having like the bunkers. And
I just think of people freezing, eating food out of cans, hearing bombs go off in the background.
Yeah, some dust coming in from the ceiling.
Well, I was thinking the other day when I was looking at all this crazy shit that's been going on in England, these terrorist attacks.
Yeah.
And what happened in France. And I was just thinking how long that section of the world has been in turmoil.
It's just always fighting?
Always fighting.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking like America's one of the only places where very little shit has gone down. Like little things have gone down. They were obviously big at the time. Like Pearl Harbor was huge at the time.
But very few.
And then 9/11. And other than that, it's like, whoa, boy.
Yeah.
What else? And then you look at Europe, like, holy shit, dude, there's a part of France that's the size of Paris that you can't go into.
Why?
Because there's so many bombs there.
What do you
There's
mean?
so much munitions from the world wars.
Oh, really?
So bad that they have like an area the size of Paris.
What, just mines and stuff?
Just munitions, just fucking missiles and shit. Things that were flying there that landed, things that blew off, all sorts of chemical waste.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, it's toxic.
Oh.
See if you could pull that up.
Really?
Jamie, yeah.
And you can't go?
I feel like it's outside of Normandy. I forget where it is. But there's a section of France that is literally the size of Paris that people can't go into for like 100,000 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just because it's all this like chemical waste?
Just because of all the waste from the bombs and all the different fucking missiles and rockets
Damn.
and guns and shit. Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Wow.
And obviously, I don't have the facts in front of me until Jamie pulls it up, and my shitty memory. But I know that this is a real place, and I know that there's
Just left over like wings of planes
I think it's mostly like things they shot at each other.
and unexploded?
Some of them unexploded, some of them exploded, like the waste from them.
Oh.
Yeah, here it is.
This is a map of the space. The
See
red
those
zone
things?
is where they can't go.
Look at
Yeah.
all these fucking bombs that didn't
On the
go off.
on the cobblestone streets.
Look at those things, dude. These are all
Wow.
bombs that didn't go off.
But that guy's there.
Yeah, well, that guy knows what he's doing.
He's just touching it.
They pulled
He's
that
got
one
no
out.
mask on.
Imagine if it went off right next to
Wait,
you.
the water area is found to contain water area.
It says found to contain certain toxic levels of arsenic that were 300 times above the tolerated amount and abnormally high. Lead levels were recorded in some animals, particularly in the livers of hunted wild boars.
Oh, so they buried it all.
I think it's just there, man. I think they just have this area. I don't think they buried it.
It looks like they put it under mounds of dirt,
Is that what's going on?
and then shit grew.
Does it say that?
No, but those mounds look like that. I don't know.
Let's see what. Get up to the
Whoa,
top.
cool, freaky.
A no-go zone of France, forbidden no man's land, poisoned by war. Ooh, dude. I mean, look at that guy with the gas mask
It's the
on.
artist
That's a drawing.
rendition, I think. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it is up to his
Why did
knees
I
in,
think
like,
that was
water.
real? It doesn't even look a little real.
It's so clearly it's not even like it's like chalk painted.
It's so bad.
It's not even like
It is a dope picture, but I was reading and looking at the photo, and I'm like, oh, is that guy in a gas mask? Oh, that's not a real picture. Dude, I've seen some tattoos recently on people on Instagram. That's one of the best things that Instagram's for.
tats.
Tattoo artists. There's some people that have done these super realistic photograph tattoos that are just flat out fucking freaky. They can do flat out freaky
You see
shit
3D
now.
tattoos?
I've seen those.
Wow.
Yeah. Incredible.
Golly.
Yeah. Dude. Tattoo artists, like all artists, I guess, are just because of the internet.
Evolving.
But yeah, and then they're taking things to another level because they're seeing the level of all these other people. And like a guy in Germany can compare himself with a guy in Japan and a guy in America.
Yeah.
Like,
Look at this.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
God damn.
Wow,
these
it
are
looks like
good.
his skin is falling off.
Yeah, there's a lot
butterfly
of
was great.
really good tattoo artists out there right now. Really good.
Some hot chicks getting them too.
Yeah, like all over the place.
Jesus.
And guys love that.
I'm one of those guys.
You know why?
Why?
Because you know she's dangerous. That's a reckless gal.
Maybe both
She's
of
got
those girls.
Johnny Depp tattooed on her foot. You know? Like, that girl's crazy. Right? Like
Yeah.
girls with like love and hate on their hands, like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
is
like
gonna be
you're,
like.
you're on a roller coaster ride. It's going click, 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 click. And you're at the apex.
Yeah, you can never just have a nice quiet dinner with a girl like that.
Yeah.
It's got to be on every night. Something's thrown at your head.
A girl has Los Angeles tattooed across her stomach. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, and like that gothic, like a gang sign.
What's behind your ear? A lot.
Yeah. Face tattoos is where you're really making a commitment. That's a weird one, right? It's like, I'm willing to, like, some people will get, I'm a little crazy.
Wiz
I got,
Khalifa
like-
types?
Yeah. Oh, those are the, well, how about Gucci Mane? Got a fucking ice cream cone tattooed on his face and it says Burr.
Really?
Yes. Dude, he got an ice cream cone tattooed on his face. And it says Burr.
BRRR.
Yeah, like Burr, this is cold. I'm not kidding.
He's not like an ice cream guy though.
I like his music though.
But it's not all about ice
Look
cream,
at
is
that.
it?
Look,
God damn! Wow.
it says Burr.
Burr. And then the meme spelled Burr wrong.
There's lightning bolts off the ice cream cone.
I feel like that was put in later.
No, I think that was at the same time.
Ice cream and lightning.
Yeah, ice cream and lightning. That's real. That's his tattoo.
Nothing says gangsta like 3 scoops of ice cream. Wow, good for him. It's gonna be hard for him to find a job though.
Yeah, he doesn't have a job. He's a rapper. He doesn't need a job.
I mean,
Okay, I don't want to see
inside of the lip
more
one.
of this. The inside of the lip one is weird. But like I'm a
It's
sneaky
weird, right?
freak.
It's out of the way.
I'm a sneaky freak. I'm hiding my freakiness inside my face.
There's no virgins with tattoos.
Well, I'm sure there must be.
Maybe,
I'm sure there must be.
but not really though.
That's not even unusual. You don't think? What about asexual people? Do you believe in asexual people?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, definitely, right?
yeah. I've met a couple.
Yeah, some people just don't touch me. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm not into that sort of thing.
Why is that so horrible?
I'm more into stamps.
I mean, it's not like they just are antisocial. They just don't want to fuck
They just
you.
have no interest in it.
Yeah. So what about them?
Oh, they.
What if
do
they
get
get tattoos? Yeah.
I don't think it ever happens. I stand by it.
Wow, you're a strong.
There's
I
no
like how
virgins
you
with tattoos.
Stick to commit to an
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't matter if I didn't research it.
You're
or think
not
about
even
it ahead of
totally
time.
sure. You're not even totally
Oh,
sure.
I'm 100% sure, man.
Wow. Interesting.
I'm doubling down.
Interesting. I like how you did that. You raised your voice.
Yeah.
You even extended your head. There's something about movement. Have you seen this fucking video? I don't know if you know what's going on in Evergreen College. Do you know where Evergreen College is? Evergreen State College.
From the north.
It's in Pacific Northwest,
Okay.
and there's this crazy shutdown. I had this professor on the podcast because the kids had asked him to not show up at school, and no white people show
For
up at
No
school.
Whites Day.
Because they wanted a day where whites didn't. And he's like, that is the opposite of inclusiveness. Like this is not what we're supposed to be doing. So they kick him out, right? He's
Kicked him out. Instead of saying, no, how about Everybody Day?
Well, this is what they did. They didn't really kick him out. What they did is they protested, they yelled and screamed, and he felt unsafe, and he left the college, and then the college got shut down due to
Why did it
threats.
get shut down? Oh, really?
Threats, yeah.
do you
People
mean
called
threats?
in. They even played the threats on the air.
What do you mean threats? He was already gone.
No, other people called in.
To
Like,
threaten the college?
yes,
Because,
yeah.
Oh, because.
like right-wing people.
Oh, right,
Called.
right,
They
right.
called them a bunch of commies.
Yeah.
And they left like a voicemail saying I'm gonna come down with my 45 Magnum.
No, that's too far.
Yeah, 44 Magnum, maybe 44.
Oh, that's all right then. That's
He
okay.
specified the round, which I thought was hilarious.
He's like the exact type of gun I have.
Yeah. Like,
Just not to call
okay,
attention to
well, if you
myself.
come with a shotgun, I know it's just a game. But anyway, the college professor got in trouble, like talking to these kids. They told him to put his hands away because he was gesturing with their hands. And they were yelling out that it's a microaggression.
Oh.
And they got him to put his hands down, and then they started laughing at him.
Oh.
Dude.
They started
"You know,"
laughing like,
they were
"Ha ha, we made you
they
put
were
your
like,
hands
put
away."
your hands down. See if you can find it, Jamie.
What?
Because I think
Those
who had it?
microaggressions.
I think I'm trying to figure. Maybe Brett Weinstein had it queued up on his Twitter page. He's the professor.
That word, by the way, is dead on. It's just the connotative meaning now has become something super negative. But it's a
Microaggressions?
microaggression, not even a small
Yeah.
aggression.
Well,
Micro. It's like the smallest possible thing you can think of in terms of aggression. And you're
If
like,
you-
okay, sure, whatever.
But if you watch the video, this guy's just moving his hands. He's just talking like this, and they're like, "Put your hands down. Your hands are aggressive." And then they laugh at him when he complies. They openly mocked him and laughed.
Like
at
they're
him.
like, we're fooling with you. We didn't really believe that
No,
microaggression stuff.
dude.
We turned you into a cuck.
They're little kids. These are little kids.
Wow.
When you talk to people who understand how brains develop, one of
Yeah.
the big things that they always say is the frontal lobe, the frontal cortex, doesn't really develop until you're like 25. It's not fully developed.
Dude, they're just. I was in college. I understand.
Yeah,
We're not
fighting
that
the power.
smart. We learned a few things. We don't know how to put it into play yet. And so
Yeah.
you just say it. And that, by the way, that's my theory on why people send their kids away to college is because they're fucking embarrassing and they don't want them anywhere near them while they're trying to grow into real people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're learning stuff, but they're like, we know everything.
Do you really think that's it?
Oh, yeah, a little bit. Also, they say for the experience of going away, but like, no, it's like, hey, fucking be an awful developing thing away from me. Go embarrass someone in Wisconsin.
Interesting.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hear those NYU girls talking all the time. I stand behind them and like listen,
Oh yeah.
you know, on their conversations. Girls and boys, you know.
Mostly girls. Are you creeping?
I mean, you know, whatever.
Are you creeping?
Sort of, sure. I mean, obviously, I'm super into that. But like, but yeah, they're just dumb. They're dumb when you listen to them, and you're just well read and dumb.
Well, there's a lot of people that are 18 years old, and you can have a very intelligent conversation with
Yeah,
them.
sure, some.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then there's a lot
absolutely,
of
there's
people,
some.
and there's a lot of people who are 18 who are basically 12. Mm-hmm. They're basically like a grown-up baby. It's not their fault. It's no one's fault. You know, it just takes some people longer to kind of get how to, sort of factor all the aspects of life together and make it some sort of a manageable plan for yourself and
Yeah.
live your life. But
Please,
the
that's
idea
what
of
you did.
those kids being able to run that principal and run the president of that school like that,
They're
and
just
tell him to put
babies,
his
right?
hands down and laugh at him. Dude, they laughed at him.
I've
I
heard
mean-
a few smart people going about Trump and people like small hands, you know, and the left will attack that. It's like, oh, you have a small dick or you're
Right.
shitty hair. And I saw one, I forget who, comedian I used to do open mics with. I think she's a writer now. I forget who it was, but she was like, don't say that. Don't take their tactics. Don't say looks are an important thing here.
Yeah.
That's not what we believe in. So stop saying that.
Not only that, you're going to shame the shit out of all those guys that are out there that actually have small hands
Yeah,
and
exactly.
small dicks.
Right. Her point was like, don't just because you know that'll affect them, you're doing the same thing the right does. Don't do that.
Yeah, but isn't that amazing, though, that is what we decide to do as a collective group of humans, to find the thing that you can mock about him physically. Like his dick is little. He's got small hands. Look at
Yeah.
your small hands. And then there's people in the audience that actually have small hands. They're like, fuck. Because Trump's a big, giant guy.
Is he
Isn't
really tall?
I think he's like 6'2". He's probably like your height.
Oh, wow.
He's a big guy. Like he's a big, imposing guy. Like if you see, that was one of the speculations about Jim Comey.
What?
That James Comey, that Trump didn't like him because he was 6'8".
Oh.
Because he's huge. James Comey's like this giant basketball player, like
Huge.
dude. Huge.
Really?
Yeah. And he just towered over everybody, including Trump. Trump's like, get rid of that fucking guy. But I'm sure it was more complicated
It's
than
more
that.
because he's investigating him.
But that's more of shaming. People love
Yeah.
to do that. Oh, you tiny little man. You
Yeah, both
tiny
sides
little
love doing
man.
it.
Yeah, it's weird because you're attacking something that's the person can't change at all.
Yeah.
Like what do what do you care if he has small? Like look how big Comey is. Comey's a giant.
Wow.
Huge.
Wow, he's like
He's
Bill
a super
Bradley.
person. Look at his
God,
size
he
of him.
dwarfs everybody.
Oh my God, he's huge. He's
Excuse
an
me, he little
enormous
person's
guy.
everyone.
If I was Donald Trump and I was in this sort of a dispute with a guy like that,
He's saying,
yeah,
look how big you grew.
I would worry about Comey running for president.
Really?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, you probably
Yeah,
control
I watch
everything.
House of Cards, son. I know how this game is played. The next move is Comey runs for president. A bunch of people, they get in a room with him. There's his bankers, and there's this one dude who's an internationally successful businessman, but he keeps like a humble lifestyle and a normal house, and he likes to bird hunt.
Hey, everybody watching at home.
Yeah.
Right here is when Joe Rogan's explaining to me how it works in politics. Now back to the actual show.
Yeah, they do a little too much of that sometimes.
Like, what? What are you doing?
Face the camera. They get away with it sometimes.
Should never
But
get
you know
away
what
with
I
it.
want? Here's what I want. I want Claire Barnes to do those every now and then.
Who's Claire Barnes?
Claire
His wife?
Underwood,
His
rather.
wife?
Started the new season.
Yeah.
His wife?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I want his wife to do it.
Underwood.
Anthony
Underwood.
Hopkins? No.
Yeah.
What's that
Didn't I
guy's
say
name?
Underwood the second time?
Barnes.
But I said the second
Oh,
time I said
yeah,
Underwood.
okay.
Who the hell's Claire Barnes?
The reporter?
Is that the girl's name in Homeland?
I've run out of space in my head for names. I don't have any. They're
Maybe it is in
jumbling
Homeland.
together.
Maybe it is it.
They're all jumbling together.
No, Zoe Barnes.
No,
was
Claire
the chick.
Danes.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Zoe
yeah,
Barnes.
yeah,
That's who it
yeah,
is. That's right.
yeah.
Claire Underwood. I want to hear what she says.
Yeah. She's not allowed.
Why doesn't she look at the camera? Like she's mysterious.
They have that. It's director's cuts they show on We Network.
On the We Network.
Yeah, it's only the women, only
You
the
have to-
women's points of view.
They have to
are
take
addressed.
your chromosomes before they let you watch it. You hold on to your remote and test to make sure you're double X. No Y. No Y. The
Yeah.
We Network.
Does anybody watch that anymore?
Chicks.
Yeah, I guess so.
Same people like Hallmark.
Nobody really watches either of those, though, right? Nobody really watches. Somebody
There's
watches, but
people
nobody
watch 'em.
really.
Dude, go to Nebraska.
But like they watch it more than like NBC.
They DVR the shit out of it.
David Taylor once said he was trying to write. They were buying like dumb scripts for a Hallmark channel, and he said he researched a bunch of them, and he goes, pretty much every one of the movies that work is about a pet, a family reunion, or a holiday. So he had a Lost My Dog at Christmas Time movie that he wrote just to try to get it on there. He's like, I'll fill all this stuff.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Remember that billboard across the street from the store was always the Hallmark Channel?
Yeah.
Forever.
Dude, one of my favorite comments you ever made. Because it was this like cop show where it was a woman in the front, a woman behind her, kind of like Charlie's Angels-ish, a little Tough and Tough guns, and then like a dude way in the back, maybe 3 women, 1 guy, but they're like hard-nosed detectives. And you're like, Hallmark Channel is sci-fi for women. In what world does this exist? This is.
I forgot I said that, but it's so true. I was doing that on stage for a while.
Really?
Now that I remember it, I was doing it. I was saying that on stage because it was right there,
Right
and
there,
I could
you
point
think
to
of
it. And
it,
I
you
said,
see it.
"There is a fucking billboard across the street, and I need you to go out there and look at it." I'm telling people after the show, look at it. This joke's gonna be better after the show.
It really was. Like, see what's
so
possible?
ridiculous.
And you're like, that is not possible.
The guy would be like, "Give me the fucking gun. Where is he?" That guy's like hanging back there, like he's waiting for these chicks to save him. What?
Yeah.
The fuck are you watching?
Me and Jay went on a rabbit hunt over at his place of looking for videos of like women cops getting beat up.
Oh God, they're awful.
Oh,
There's
it's
so
really
many of
bad.
them.
It's like once
so
a guy like grabs you,
disturbing.
it's like, fuck, there's a huge power difference here.
So disturbing. There's one, I'll never forget this one, because the guy's child, it was his child, I think, or his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I forget who it was. I think it was his kid, was screaming at him to stop, and he was beating the shit out of this cop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he got out of the car with her, and it was a woman, and she was really little. And she was pulling him over, and he got out of the car, and I don't remember the exact chain of events, but I remember he was punching the fuck out of
Wow.
her. And he KO'd her, and he on the ground, and he smashed her in the face a bunch of times.
Whoa.
Yeah, and his kid was screaming. I'm pretty sure it was his kid. Screaming to stop.
Gross.
Oh, it was so scary. But it was like, this is the reality of being a cop. Like, this is why it's not sexist to think that it's a scary thing to have a 130-pound woman on her own out there driving around in a cop car with a gun, trying to pull over 6'4". The guy was a stacked-looking black dude.
Right.
Like, he looked like a big guy. And once he got a hold of her and started punching her, holy shit, dude. It was awful.
Oh.
It was awful. He beat the shit out of her. And he did it super easy. And you realize, like, once you got it on video, yeah, you want to show a little bit? Show it to us. It's awful, man. So there's this big dude, right? He gets out of the car, and I think it's his, look at that, he just punches her in the face, and boom.
He's in front of his daughter.
Oh, that's what it was.
Oh, man,
That's
he
right.
keeps wailing on her.
Oh, dude, he beat the fuck out of her while
the
she's
daughter's
out
going-
cold. She's out cold, and he takes her gun, he takes everything, and the daughter's freaking out. Dude, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch.
Get back in the car. Oh.
Yeah, man. There's a bunch of them, man. It's such a
Oh,
dangerous
he punched
job.
the shit out of her like 10 times.
It's such a dangerous job. It's such a dangerous job. And to say that it's too dangerous for women, who's to say?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What if that woman quit after that or she kept working? You think she kept working?
I don't know. I think she might have had brain damage after that. That's horrific. It's a big dude, and I bet she was
He was
totally,
swinging full.
Yep.
I mean, he's really.
and I
piping
bet she
back.
was totally defenseless after the first punch. So it was
He's
just
on top of her.
clean punches right to the face. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, the damage that a big guy like that can do to just a regular female face.
Oh, what's that going to do to that guy's daughter, too? Is she going to grow up?
Oh my God, it's terrifying to be around that kind of violence when you're that little. So that's what it was. Why did I think that the video showed the kid in the car?
Right out of the car. She's
Shit
right next to
memory.
it.
It was terrible. But I mean, that's probably one of 100 of those things that have happened.
By the way, in terms of if I felt unsafe when I was traveling, that shit's here.
Sure, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was nowhere as unsafe as like Chicago.
Yeah, that's what I always say about Mexico. Like people are like, do you ever go to Mexico? I'm like, Mexico is like mostly nice.
Right.
Nice people. They're really nice people. Like Mexico's not the problem. The problem is parts of Mexico.
Border towns too.
Some
in general.
people, yeah. But it's also like that's the problem, like you said, with Detroit. It's a problem with Chicago.
Yeah.
It's a problem with a lot of places. There's spots where it's fucking dangerous.
Yeah. Even most of Chicago's good.
Yeah, but Chicago's great.
550 murders last year, but think how many people weren't murdered.
Dude, that's
Millions.
a great outlook. You're a glass half full kind of guy.
Millions of non-murdered people roaming around Chicago, really enjoying their freedoms.
Yeah, I mean, if it affects you or someone that you love, it's terrible. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in all this traveling,
Yeah.
did you come out of this with anything?
You know, a few things. For sure.
Because you seemed like, to tell you from the outside,
Yeah.
like, you seemed like almost like you had a different perspective. You seemed, I don't know, man. It was nice to see you when I first saw you when you came back.
Yeah.
But you seemed like a little different. You seemed
Huh.
like you,
How?
I don't know, you've seen another level of stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you've got another level of perspective from this travel thing that like added to your vision of the world, your whole overall world view.
Yeah. Well, a lot of time to think also. So as
Yeah.
you're seeing stuff, you know, certainly as everyone would see out there, like poverty levels where you're like, oh, I'm doing fine,
Yeah.
you know, but not even that. It's more specific. It's just like, I don't know, friendly people and like, yeah, and just different versions of it. Plus travelers and plus really getting to a place where you're like, don't need to do anything. You know, after a month of that, it's like, okay, you just settle into this, like, I don't know, what's today going to bring?
Right.
You know, you wake up and you just like, I heard there's this cool temple there. We'll go check that out. Maybe let's get on motorbikes and go somewhere. I heard there's a cool, you just talk to other travelers and be like, there's a canyon up there. It's really neat. Go check that out while you're here. And so you just do. And at some point you're like, you know how when you haven't got enough sleep for like a few days in a row, you got 4 hours, and you sleep like 11 hours and you're like, I am completely caught up.
Right.
So like not having any responsibility, the stress level goes down, and then it's just like waiting in that zero responsibility life for like, I'm 3 months in that level, I guess.
Wow.
You know, after the first couple of weeks, and it's just like, I don't have anything to do. Just like, oh, and just like fucking relax, man. I would leave a city when it felt like the right time to leave a city. You know, it wasn't even like a regular vacation where you're like, come on, we got to do this, then move.
Right.
Get a reservation somewhere. Yeah, it was just like relax, and then I could just think about things. My art form in general, people in my life, you know, what I want and don't want. I'd have like moments of just like, yeah, you take a 10-hour bus. There's no Wi-Fi. You know, you're just like thinking for a while. Yeah, tons of moments like that.
How did you know when to end it?
So I was going to come back for this show. But then I remembered my manager, my friend Eric, they wanted to do a show at Third Man Records in Nashville for the Wild West Comedy Festival. And I forgot about that because people asked me, like, when do you have to go back? Like travelers I'd meet. I was like, I'm open. Dude, there were so many people that were just traveling open.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really common?
I mean, 3 months is like a norm. You have some people
Really?
6 months or a year. I met an Italian girl who was going on her 5.5 years just traveling.
5.5 years just travel.
Mm-hmm. She'd find jobs every once in a while.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's just she goes where she wants.
It's very appealing.
Yeah.
It's very fascinating, right? That's like nobody writes books about a guy who stays in his town that he grew up in.
I know.
Right? The book is about the crazy traveler person who
Yeah.
goes all over the world in a backpack and
Yeah, but
live-
there's 3-month people all over America doing that.
I know there's a lot of tent people. There's a lot of people that like they'll get like a truck, you know, like some sort of a
Get off the grid.
SUV thing, and they drive it around to campgrounds and they camp. And they use the showers at the campgrounds, and
Yeah.
then they do stuff enough for money so that they have gas, and they keep traveling around and hope their car doesn't break
Odd
down.
jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this girl picked oranges in Sydney for like 2 months.
I had this dude on, Chris Cage. He walked the Appalachian Trail.
Wow.
Yeah, it's Georgia
And
all
would he
the way
kill
to
animals
Maine.
and stuff?
No.
I don't know. How do you survive?
You would never make it. You would never make it.
What do you mean?
Well, you'd never make it if you were just trying to kill animals all the way. You'd never make it.
So how do you eat?
You'd have to be an elite hunter, and you still might not ever make it. Because you're not, if you're carrying that food around, it's going to go bad. You're walking through Georgia in the summer.
No, I mean, critters.
You're not going to get enough.
Just cook
You'll
it that
starve.
night. Really?
Yeah, you'll starve.
Oh.
It's way harder to kill an animal than people think it is.
In the movies, that's what they do. It's like, let's camp, get some dinner.
Dude, it's way harder. It's way harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not unless you're walking around with several high-powered rifles and scopes and you're setting up and you know where the animals are. They hear you coming, you're walking. You're not going to be able to walk all the way to Maine.
Oh, man, maybe that's you, but
Kill
an experienced
animals.
hunter like me kind of understands. You have to get in their heads, man.
They go to restaurants.
Yeah.
They buy food. They stay in hostels. They have these little camping spots where they have covered shelters and people share them.
Really? Yeah, there's a lot of that, too.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, forget about your, like, what you need in terms of, like, hotels.
Yep.
That's all out. You need
Yeah.
a bed. That's all you need.
So some people, they carry it on their back. There's a thing called a bivy sack. You know what a bivy sack is? A bivy sack is like either a bivy sack or a bivy tent. They're like essentially a combination sleeping bag tent.
Oh, cool.
And it's super light. Pull up a picture of a bivy tent.
Yeah,
So-
it's one of the reasons I didn't go to South America is because I was like, there's going to be more camping, it seems like, up and down the coast and stuff, and
Yeah.
less, like, cities. And I'm just like, I don't know if I can camp alone for that long.
You might freak out.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to get a good night's sleep around a bunch of weirdos who don't even speak their language. This is what they look like.
Oh, neat.
So you keep that thing, they wrap it up, put it on their back. It's pretty light. You
Oh,
can
it
carry
just
that
keeps
with
the
you.
fucking rain off you.
Yeah, it's basically like just this tiny ass little tent. And like if you were a minimalist hiker, like if you're some guy who's trying to walk 50 miles or something crazy like these guys, they try to carry as light a stuff as they can. They
Yeah.
try to go as minimal as they can. And that's one way that they do that.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times they'll use like a little air mattress like that dude has. A little
Oh, wow.
mat.
Blow it up. Doesn't take up any space.
Yeah, you just got to hope it doesn't pop.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, you're sleeping on rocks. It's hard, but
That's what everybody did, too, traveling for this backpack.
that's
You just got to make it work. Space was like that's another thing you learn, too. It's like, I don't need much stuff.
yeah,
You go down to, like, just a backpack full if that's all your belongings.
right.
If you buy anything, you got to throw something out.
Yeah, man. Like, there's a real movement right now towards minimalism, where people are trying to pare their life down as much as possible.
Yeah, I think people don't want to get involved with, like, banks and fucking having to, like, mortgage themselves and their lifestyle just for the sake of, like, having things.
Yep.
And they're like, and so they get into, like, stuff like camping and hiking.
Well, it's also you got to think like, what do you really appreciate? What's important to you? Like, what's really important to you?
Yeah.
Because you don't have forever, right? So what is important to you? Because you only have 24 hours in a day. So what's important to you? Find out what the fuck that is and do more of that.
Yeah.
And try to figure out like how to make enough money so that you're not starving, that you're doing well.
Yeah.
But don't just chase that. Chase what you're trying to do. Like the point system attached to it, the monetary point system, it can get you all fucked up because it'll get you working like 12 hours a day, 13 hours a day.
To get what?
To get more stuff. To get better stuff, to get more prestigious stuff, to get stuff that, all your other stuff having friends are really jealous of your stuff.
Yeah, you're just going to die, bro. And it's not even long term. I mean, like, what are you getting out of it now?
That's what I meant. That's what's most important.
Yeah, a ton of people that are like, I don't want that shit. So I'm just going to do a job, working on a tugboat in Seattle for a few months, save up money, and then go fucking enjoy myself.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are just choosing to look at everything that they can see, experienced every new place that they can go to. That Henry Rollins podcast, man, it's a world changer.
Yeah.
That crazy fucker.
Yeah, he is.
He's fascinating.
Yeah.
I never met anybody like him. He's really fascinating.
Yeah, he goes and like does stuff and sees stuff.
It was just also his outlook, how he simplifies all the things that are wrong with him and all the things that are wrong with the way he interacts with people. And so this is what I'm going to do. And this is going to, like he's like his story about being given, was it Ritalin? was Ritalin, right? From the time he was like 5.
Mm-hmm.
For he was a young boy, they gave him Ritalin till senior year of high school. So he was like, I would just be on these pills. I'd be like, "Grr," all day. At the end of the day, like, boom, he would like crash. And then they do it again. I mean, they're juicing him up with this crazy stuff. From like, he was an experimental case.
He grew up in, from what I understand, he's from Potomac, Maryland, which is the same county as where I grew up in. But that was the richer part of town. Not that he was a rich kid, but like Montgomery County is one of the richest counties in America. And like, that was just a standard thing. Like, if your kid's not performing ideally, he's learning disabled, give him some pills.
Right. Crazy.
Yeah.
That people thought for a while that was the way to go. It's just fascinating that he's so, like, Henry's so intense, and he's so, like, he's got, like, these rock solid ethics and this view of the world that's very egalitarian and very open, but also very aggressive. It's very interesting.
Seems like he's thought it out, though. It's not just like, oh, whatever, and this is what I believe no matter what.
Yes.
He's like, oh, yeah, for sure, I thought about this, and here's the answer.
No, I super enjoyed talking to him. Thanks
That's
for hooking
cool.
that up.
Yeah, I'm glad it worked out. While I was gone,
great.
but I was like, oh, I got back. I was like, did you ever link up with him? And you're like, yeah, we did. It was a good podcast. Like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. He's, I just love when someone is just soaking in as much as they can get.
Yeah.
Just out there, like, let's go to Bali. And he just goes to Bali. Let's go to Africa. Now we're in Tanzania. Now we're in Botswana. You know, and just meeting people and going out on the fucking sand dunes and shit. And it's like, with Bedouins.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you get away from, like, the backpacker's path, you know, the tourist path, and sometimes it would get, like, too much. But you just go out and then you can, like, really see some shit, like basically what it is.
Yeah.
My friend Jesse's going back to Liberia.
Whoa.
In December. They left after when Charles Taylor was taken over. And so, but now it's safe again.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're trying to convince the world that it's like a decent, like, tourist place. But Jesse's going back in December. Like, dude, I'm coming with you. I'm staying with your fucking family's house. Not in a hotel, but like, let's see what shit's really like out there.
Yeah. So let's see.
Yeah.
I bet it's a trip.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the Vice piece on Liberia?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Vice guy to travel, and they went to Liberia, and my man Shane, he was over there in Liberia talking to this dude who, his name is General Butt Naked. This guy was famous for going into combat during the war. He would take all of his clothes off, and he'd run naked, killing people naked.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, he admitted he was talking about how they would capture a child from the other tribe and they would kill him and cut pieces of the heart out and eat it to give them invincibility. Like, he was talking about this.
Wow.
And he's free on the streets, and they exonerated him because now he's like a Christian minister.
Yeah, it's pretty much only Charles Taylor got punished. Everyone else was like, you're all done. Go be part of the government. It's okay.
Dude, this guy like openly talks about all the crazy shit that he did.
Wow.
You know, about cutting the hearts out of children and eating them.
You know how Liberia was started?
Yes.
I didn't know that until recently.
Tell everybody. Slave thing.
Freed slaves.
Yeah.
They went back to President Monroe, freed them, and said, we'll ship you back there if you want. And a lot of people were like, yeah, I don't trust you guys. So I'm going to go back to Africa.
Crazy.
Where they never grew up. And so they called it Liberia for liberated. And that's why they all speak English. They don't have any African language anymore.
Dude. Wow.
Yeah, Monrovia is their capital, President Monroe.
The idea of it is so crazy. I know I use that expression too much.
What, going back, like starting up a freed slaves country?
Well, just taking them and throwing them onto a patch of land. Good luck.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like setting out a zoo animal into the wild.
Right.
It's like, have fun surviving.
Holy shit, man. And just talk about feeling displaced and confused. You didn't even grow up there.
You don't have any lions in fucking Georgia.
And you must be thinking to yourself, like, what kind of shit luck do I have? I have double shit luck. I have shit luck that I was a slave, and then shit luck that I was thrown back to Africa.
I think that might have been the way to go.
Oh, yeah, for sure. To be free is better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Or to be the semi-free post-slavery America.
But I'm just saying, like, it's still a bad hand.
Yeah.
It's shit luck.
Yeah. You only get 3 cards. The best you can do is 3 of a kind.
Well, this General Butt Naked guy turned a dude in because the dude was selling human flesh.
Uh-huh.
And he knew because he had eaten human flesh, so he knew what it tasted like. So that's how when he was buying like shish kebab from this guy, he turned him in. He's like, this guy was selling human flesh. I could tell because I've eaten it before. What? The fuck did you just say? You could tell what it tastes like. If I gave you a piece of lamb, would you know for sure that was a lamb?
I'd have an idea.
Yeah, an idea. But I could maybe sneak in like a piece of wild sheep or something. You might think that was lamb.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This
guy knew.
motherfucker knew. That's him right there.
I think I know what human flesh tastes like.
That's him right there, General Butt Naked.
Wow.
Yeah. It tasted, I got a taste, it was human. I called the police.
Wow. Nice tie.
He knows what human tastes like, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Just said that when they were testing out like rocket launches to sell them to people there, they would be like, "Let me show you," and they would just blow up a dam, you know. And so the infrastructure is totally fucked because everyone was testing out their weapons.
God.
I'm like, "No, we need that building."
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
Yeah, they're like, "Cool, it works. I'll take 10."
Well, maybe it'll eventually like calm down and be like Australia, right? Because Australia was a place where they wanted to get rid of prisoners. So they shipped them off to Australia. Now they're the best people ever.
Yeah.
Maybe that's exactly what's going to happen to Liberia. They just need a couple of generations to knock the dust off.
Well, they got rid of Taylor, so they should be okay.
Yeah, maybe they'll be fine. Just takes a while to rebound from some shit like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but Henry Rollins has that of like going to a place and like, let me see what this is like.
Yeah,
it's
man.
kind of inspiring.
There's not a whole lot of people that do it, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And he works. Like, his work ethic's insane. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm talking about his writing and what he's doing, and he's always doing something. He's writing columns, and,
Yeah.
you know, he's
Yeah.
just
It's
always...
like he goes and does stuff, and then he comes home and takes care of business.
Yeah.
And then he's like, cool, took care of it, go. I think I would do this again after my next special.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're just going to just every
It's like
couple
once
of
you
years,
finish with work, it's like,
Yeah.
all right, before I start building up again.
do a walkabout.
Yeah, I don't know. See,
Right.
see some of the world.
Yeah, do a walkabout.
I met a bunch of people doing gap years.
What's a gap year?
Yeah, exactly. What's a gap year? It's all over every other country, just not ours.
What's that mean?
In between high school and college, you're leaving your friends, you're about to make new friends.
Oh, take
Get
a
out
year
here
off.
for a year. In between college and grad school, or college and your first year of work, now's
gap
the time.
year. Well, European countries have a point in this more relaxed approach
Yeah.
to like the future and your life.
Yeah.
They really do. This conqueror's mentality. I wonder how many heart attacks we have in comparison to European people.
I don't know, but it's like we're not living our lives. You know, Germans get off how many? Are you familiar with the vacation time leave in America?
What is it?
It's 2 weeks, pretty much.
That's
everywhere.
it?
2 weeks vacation, 2 weeks sick.
Do you get paid vacation?
Paid vacation, 2
Okay.
weeks.
Is that standard?
Yeah, that's a standard.
Okay.
That's 9 to 5:30. You know, in Germany and most of Europe, definitely all of Scandinavia, you get 25 days off, 5
Jesus.
weeks.
Jesus.
And if you get sick during those weeks off, if you had to go to a hospital in wherever country you're in, and you show them I was in a hospital, you get those days back. They'll count against your sick time instead. And they expect you to take the vacation time too. Not like here, where they're like, come on, you can't really use it.
You know what's fucked up?
What?
Sick time. Like I ran out of sick days.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what? What do you mean?
You're sick.
Like you're sick.
Yeah.
Like either you're a fucking liar or I trust you. Now, if I trust you, you're just really unfortunate. And if I love you and we're friends and we work together, I want you to get better.
it
I don't
sucks,
want
but
you
you're
to
in mono,
say,
so okay.
Yeah, you don't have to come back to work because you already used up your 14 days.
Like
of
you're
not
getting exactly sick the same amount of time every year too.
Yeah, like, can you imagine telling somebody, "Hey, buddy, you're out of sick days. I'm gonna have to dock your pay." And you're dying. What? I can't breathe. They got you on IVs and shit. I don't care. You're out of sick
Well,
days.
the calendar doesn't state that. Doesn't back you up on that.
The statistics say in order to keep revenue flowing, we must keep you in the process.
Yeah.
What? You have a certain amount of days you're allowed to be sick. That's fucking ridiculous. Like, hopefully there'll be 0. Well, I'm saving up my sick days. What? You save up your sick days? What does that mean? Like, so your sick days carry over?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you get extra days where you can pretend you're sick?
You,
So
no,
they
you can't save up
encouraging?
sick days. You can save up vacation days, but
Oh,
I don't
did I
think you
make
can
that
save
up?
up sick days.
Should be able to.
You
Give me
should
my
be.
days.
I
I should
didn't
be
get
able to
sick.
move them around like cards.
At least give you half of them back. I took
People-
4. I have 10 left over. Give me 5 for next year.
People with real jobs are so mad at us right now.
Yeah.
Like, you motherfuckers don't know shit about sick days or work days to be under the thumb of an oppressive dictator.
I'm saying it's terrible.
Yeah, oh
With
yeah.
this expectation that you never take off. You have to pour your whole life into that shit. And it's like, oh, man, go do some stuff.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate, because if I was one of the people out there that likes to complain about shit, I'd be like, that's easy for you to say, Ari, you haven't had a job. You don't have the responsibilities I have.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I'll be quiet. End of podcast. No. I'm saying, though, they demand better. They get it better in other places.
They absolutely should.
There's
First
an expectation that you go fucking see the world and go do stuff. Or
40-hour work week is bullshit.
Bullshit.
It's
You're not
bullshit.
productive that level.
Nobody should do it.
And it shouldn't be standard. Everyone has to do the same amount.
Unless I want to buy something that you make. Then could you please get
Be
everybody
open
to
all
do
the time.
overtime
Yeah.
and put in a night shift
Yeah.
and give people time and a half for overtime, so you encourage them to go overtime? Yeah, time and a half.
You can get out of the mindset of having to work this time and just demand something better or more interesting for your life.
Well, it's just a weird standard that we've all accepted pretty much across the country. 9 to 5, 9 to
Yeah.
5, 9 to 5.
not
Morning,
even 9 to
Sam.
5.
Morning, Bob. 9 to 5.
It's 9 to 5:30 or 6.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to take a
Always.
lunch break, you
well,
don't get paid for that anymore.
You don't?
No, it's not 9 to 5 anymore.
Is that Trump? Did he do this?
No, it's before Trump. It's been a long time.
9 to 5.
It's
9 to 5.
bullshit.
9 to 5. Could you imagine? What a weird decision to make the most significant thing be the productivity.
It's Brave
and the
New
amount
World.
of money. Where's that horn going off, young Jamie? You hear that? Is it in the back? Just give it a little double check.
Go out there with the baseball bat. Tell them to shut the fuck up, but
Just-
walk towards
The
them
move
aggressively.
is walk out there with your dick in your hand. That way you startle anyone you see, and you always have the first move.
Yeah, exactly.
They're reacting
Oh,
to
yeah,
you
yeah.
now. Like, this guy's crazy. He came out with his dick out.
Yeah.
Like, if you're getting ready to fight and you just come out holding onto your dick, people are like, whoa, what's he planning?
A lot of people would back down from that fight.
A lot of people wouldn't.
A lot of people might not.
People would be worried that a dick would touch you, but once it did touch you, we'd realize it really doesn't do anything. It's okay.
That'd be the chief
Punch
thing.
him.
People would have to lean back with their hands forward
Yeah.
to try to get
once-
as if your punches don't matter, but the dick touching you does.
Yeah, like he's gonna touch you and give you cooties.
Yeah.
He's gonna zap you. It's got like an electric eel dick.
I gotta pee.
Right here?
Yeah, I don't want to leave.
You gonna use a kombucha bottle?
Yeah, man, it's the healthiest bottle to pee
You've
into.
done this twice.
Really?
Yeah, we've done this on the podcast before.
Great.
For sure. I like the fact that you're willing to do that too. I don't think we can show it on YouTube though, so we'll have to move away. Oh, Ari's got his dick out.
Kombucha
Ladies
bottles
and
are great
gentlemen.
too because they got a big opening,
Yeah.
so it doesn't vacuum up.
How often do you pee? Do you pee several
Every day,
times a
every
day?
day.
Every day. But are
um,
you like one of them healthy water drinker dudes?
I pee a lot.
Are you a healthy water drinker dude?
Interesting detail that's just happened.
Oh, you ran out? Oh no. Hold on a second.
Jamie, go to the recycling. Get me something. It's all right. I'm pinching. I got a strong grip. I mean, you can move it. Don't have to take it. Why are you touching the bottle? A cup? Not a bottle?
Hold on.
Seems like oh man, it's going back in though. I can feel it starting to swell back in. That's not healthy. I've been pinching too long. Should I pee into the cup? A bottle, yeah. Oh, you emptied it. Oh, thanks, man. Oh yeah, a lot went back into my urethra.
Ari Shaffir couldn't hold in his pee, ladies and gentlemen.
Couldn't means wouldn't.
Filled up one kombucha bottle. Here's a cap there, fella.
you.
And then filled it up again. I had to go empty it out for him.
Thanks for doing that.
My
It's a
pleasure.
real friend.
Yeah. I didn't want to leave you hanging there, dude. Really, there was only one solution. I almost went to the kitchen sink. And then I've been like, ooh, then we'd have to rinse that out. That shit would be nasty.
Dude, that bathroom sink is nasty. You ever have a cleaner in here?
No.
Oh, it looks like a bachelor.
We're on our way out of this place.
Oh man,
It's not
I
that
was like,
bad. It's not that bad.
You've just gotten
How dare
used to
you.
it. You've slowly seen it get worse and worse.
I like gas station bathrooms. Trying to recreate that here. Trying to recreate that here. I should definitely have someone come in and clean that though.
It's a fucking 409.
Yeah. Do you like doing your podcast like the way you're doing it? You just like have a subject
Yeah.
for the most part. I mean, you can deviate once you start talking, but you have like a set thing that you want to talk to someone about.
Yeah, it keeps me focused, and then it's also like I get to ask real detailed questions about stuff I want to ask about.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And usually I get it with some like level of expert, not like the best in the world, but someone who has experience with something.
Right.
Like I'm an expert on stand-up comedy. You know, I've been one.
Right.
So if you were doing that, I could tell you all about stand-up. I know more than most people in the world. You know about hunting more than most people. You know.
Not really.
Yeah, but you've done it more than
I
like
know
Ian
more
Edwards.
than the average person. But
Yeah,
when it
than the
comes to
average
people
person.
who actually know it, I'm very novice.
Right.
I'm
But
always
at least
asking
you're
questions.
aware of it enough to be like, yeah, I know about that world.
Yeah, I know a
tell you
little
some
bit
stuff.
about that world.
Yeah. So yeah, I like doing it that way.
But like, imagine if a 5-year comic started talking about what stand-up is.
That'd be
You'd
a
be
problem.
like, shut up, annoying boy.
It does take a lot longer with stand-up to like.
It's the
get
same
to
as
be-
with hunting.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a 5-year hunter. So for
Yeah.
me, I just shut the fuck up and listen to the people that actually know what's going on
Yeah.
or parrot what they say. It's too complicated. Hunting is super complicated. There's a lot involved in that.
Yeah, but generally it's like Theo Vaughn climbed Kilimanjaro,
Did he really?
or up to base camp or something. I don't know, something
Wow.
like that.
I
But I was
love
like,
that
all right.
guy.
Oh, he's great. Theo's
He's
great.
so funny, man.
Yeah, he's really hilarious.
He's so funny. I was in the back of the OR the other night, and he was killing me.
Yeah.
I mean, killing me to the point where I was crying, tears are rolling down my face.
Yeah.
He's
you ever hear
so
him talk about
silly.
meeting Brad Pitt? That bit.
Yes, I
Story?
did. I did. Yeah.
Yeah, he's real funny.
He's
Theo Vaughn.
really funny. Like, if you get a chance to see him, folks, if you're out on the road, unless
Yeah.
Ari's in town.
Jason Tebow does an impression of him for Punch Drunk.
Does he?
Yeah, he'll just come in sometimes. Him and Dean Del Rey. Yeah, and you're just like, oh, I'm talking to Theo now. He does it so good with that accent.
That's hilarious. I know that's part of what's funny about
Yeah,
him too
part
is
of his
his
charm.
accent. He's just fucking great. So many funny guys there, man.
Dude, he stayed at my apartment 1 month. I think it was in Edinburgh last year. So he stayed at my place, and he was like, "Oh man, Ari, I got heavy into coke." He just went fucking nuts.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but he left it clean. Better than anybody else who stayed there.
Really?
Yeah, Duncan left it pretty nice too.
Yeah.
By the way,
Duncan's
that's the thing that kept me out a little bit.
What?
Is that I was like, Duncan, you can stay at my place, because he was moving to New York right then. He was like, get an Airbnb. Oh, don't get an Airbnb. Just stay at my place. But I was like 2 days in when I got out there, and I was like, I've made a huge mistake. I should go back home.
2 days.
I mean, it was, yeah. Right away, it's so different that I'm like, what have I done? This is definitely a mistake.
Well, what was the initial thought behind it? Like, what did you think? Do you think that this is what I need to recharge?
No, I've been
This is
wanting
what
to see the world for a while.
Right.
You know, I had one good. This guy Turner brought me out to a tour of China, and I just sort of saw some of that place, and it was like it's just so like the meaning of the word foreign. You know,
Yeah.
just way different, and it's like I just wanted to see more of that world, and then I went with PDC to Thailand a couple years ago. Went to one of those full moon parties. And I just got more like, I want to see things. I did a Scandinavian tour last year. And I made sure to leave days off in between shows so I could really see some of the cities. I don't know, man. I just get off on like seeing new versions of the world and new experience and what people care about.
Well, I think we love to compartmentalize and to like look at our specific area because I think it's a part of being a human until recently, like until you could travel like this. Like what people liked was knowing the sort of security of their environment. They know their environment well. They're around it all the time. There's no surprises. I got this place locked down unsafe, but it's not adventurous.
It's not adventurous.
So this new thing that people are able to do only really within the last 100 years where you could just get up and travel.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, I guess there's probably world travelers
Before,
but,
sure.
But I mean, how many of them did it recreationally?
Dude, it's
like
so
regular
easy
folks?
now.
Yeah.
You can stay at hostels for cheap as fuck, you know, meet people and have them tell you what there is to do, where you are, or where to go, where to not go.
When do you think that was really an acceptable thing? As
Hostels?
far as no, I mean world travel.
Oh.
Like when were you an invader?
Oh, right.
And when did it become okay to be a tourist?
I think it was always sort of okay to be like some guy in foreign lands, as long as you're by yourself and not like an invading, force. But if you went to just visit somewhere,
Right.
I mean,
I just wonder how many people did it. How
Yeah,
many
I
people
know.
stayed like
dude, well, here's what I noticed in Hong Kong and Shanghai, which are banking centers. And the people that would come to the shows, expats, Hong Kong had more locals because they speak English there. but in Shanghai, let's say. And it's like, if you're an English banker from London or somebody from New York, and you took the job in Shanghai, China, like you have to have some adventurous bone to you instead of staying in New York or staying in London.
Yeah.
You have to be saying like, yeah, I'm going to go with my kids or without my kids. I'm going to go fucking do this new thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, just to want to go do that. You can do it now. There's jobs everywhere.
Yeah.
My friend William Childress, he moved to Myanmar. He got a job offer. He's an architect.
Wow. So he's building houses
prisons.
in Myanmar? Prisons.
Yeah. Designing them. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But like, it just opened up. The army just let in people, and he was like one of those first wave of people. And he started doing stand-up out there.
Dude, that's got to be a creepy feeling, building prisons.
Something like that. Yeah, designing them.
And now he's doing stand-up?
He did all this time there. He had the show I did in Bangkok. He brought me out there from Myanmar. He took a trip there and met me in Bangkok.
So do you think he's doing comedy to balance out the building prisons?
No. No,
Like,
he just does comedy.
put a little
I think here he's designing
sunshine
something else. He's back in America now.
Because that's building prisons. Not that we don't need prisons. Not that there aren't bad people that should be locked up.
Yeah. It's
But
weird.
That's not what I'm saying is like,
He's got to design them, so he's got
Yeah.
to make them more comfortable, maybe.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Make it so they can't get out. That's what it's
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
I mean, they get a little
That's
bit of
all the walls.
sunshine. A
Here's
little
the
bit of
main
sunshine.
thing.
Can't
What's the
get
wall
out.
situation?
It's a crazy thing when someone escapes from prison. Whap, whap, whap. And let the dogs do.
Can you imagine getting out of prison?
Oh my God, I must be so excited.
Digging a tunnel every night or you have to find the way out. How do you know the way out? How do you escape?
How about El Chapo? He just walks down to the hole that's under his toilet that goes a mile plus into
Yeah.
the ground and then pops up at some goofy ass house and gets in a car and drives off.
Wow.
See ya, suckers.
Is he still free or is he?
No.
He's in.
Oh, he's back. They caught him.
El Chapo.
They did something. He got injured too. Something happened to him. He like hurt his leg or something like that.
Running through the tunnels?
I think he might have like broken his leg falling.
Oh.
And they're trying to escape. You know, he didn't look like he was the most fit fella. He's too
Yeah.
busy running shit
Yeah.
to actually be running.
Well, El Chapo, if you can hear this, July 18th, my Netflix special comes out.
That's
so
amazing.
you might
You
wanna
shout
check-
out to El
You
Chapo.
might want to check that out, El Chapo.
Do you think he
you'd really
speaks
like it.
English? And would the comedy translate to him?
I think some of it would.
Yeah?
Sure, some of it would.
Yeah.
They have subtitles on Netflix, so
Right.
That's
I
good.
always wonder, like, that's one of the unique things about like learning a language is
Yeah.
the way they structure their sentences is very different.
Uh-huh.
So it's not just this word means that and that word means this, so you just replace them. No.
It's interesting when you talk to people from other countries when you're out there and you start to then be able to translate their mistranslations. Like easy things like what time it is.
Right.
They don't realize
Right.
like that's a statement, not a question.
Right.
But like you just get to like when they say 5 years more, it means like I've already been here 5 years. They're not really, so you have to like understand what they really mean.
Sort of like that 72 virgins expression.
Uh-huh.
It means like a shitload.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what it means.
Oh.
72 is like a shitload. You know?
Oh,
It's
right.
like- yeah, it's not like a specific number.
Like when we see a few, it's like technically it means 3, but really
Yeah.
it just means, I don't know,
A
some.
humongous amount.
Yeah, right.
72 virgins.
Really?
Like, oh my God.
And so we all took that as like, you think you're getting exactly 72 virgins? We're like,
Exactly.
no.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Yeah. I used to do a whole bit about that.
72
Suicide
virgins.
bombers. Like, what page is this whole 72 virgins?
I remember that. Yeah.
It's not even written anywhere. They get
Shut
these
up. You
dudes
shut
about-
up. Do it. Okay, I just want to know. Why can't you just tell me what page it's on?
What a crazy world to think that there are people that will go into crowded areas like in Manchester
Yeah.
and just blow themselves up and kill a bunch of people around them.
Balls. Or just like belief.
Oh, belief for sure. And then some sort of mental illness for sure. There's a lot of issues. Abuse, maybe there's physical abuse. Maybe they're like
I have no idea.
have an extreme desire to show their love.
You just think you're at war, right?
Who knows? Who knows what you think? You would, to break down the psychology of someone who's a suicide bomber would be very, like, you You would have to do a tremendous amount of research before you started drawing any conclusions.
It's hard to find them to talk to them too.
That's a problem.
Once you've already
That
done
is a
it.
problem. The theoretical suicide bombers do not apply.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing
You have to get
it.
guys whose vests don't go off.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we gotta talk to you.
Even then, like, what do you gonna get? This is a recovered person. They got out. They got through that moment where they're gonna blow themselves up, and it didn't happen. And now they've sort of had a chance to think about it. How do you charge that guy?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't do that again. I realized I was about to die. You know, there's a different in deviant sociology. There's a different category for people who attempt suicide and people who commit suicide
Really?
in the psyche of it.
Oh, I see.
Because their thing is, if you attempted it, you weren't really trying. It ain't that hard to do. You were probably trying to cry out. And the people who do it generally shut up about it more. They just do it without telling people, like, I'm going to kill myself. I want to kill myself. So somebody said if people say they want to kill themselves, that's a good sign that they need help, but that they're not going to kill themselves.
There's a different mentality between also someone who wants to kill themselves and someone who wants to literally be the bomb that kills a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
That's a
If you really believe in heaven and you're going there, though, fucking great. Get there. Why wait?
wow.
I mean, you're for sure going. It's like, you know, the Catholic confession on your deathbed, and then you go straight to heaven, but it's hard to time it right.
Yeah.
If you confess all your sins right before you die, you're going straight. You have no sins left. You're going to heaven.
Right.
But
You gotta
don't
time it right.
Yeah, and that's really hard.
Yeah.
These guys figured out the way to time it perfectly. My act of blowing myself up gets me into wipes away all my sins.
Right. One shot.
Unless, as he blew it up, a part of him goes, fuck, right before he died. Then he goes to hell for eternity.
Wow.
Too callous, Jamie?
No.
I don't know anybody from Manchester. I'm sorry.
Just what if you do it? What if you do it and you think you're going to be in heaven?
Yeah.
And you press the button, boom, and then all of a sudden it's just you disembodied in an infinite black room. It's just you
Forever.
in the blackness of infinite space with no stars, just you alone with no body, floating through eternity. You just you can experience the blackness of space, but with no stars and nothing to look at.
No women
forever.
around?
Just you.
Just you.
Just your
consciousness.
consciousness, and realizing how huge you fucked up forever.
Oh, that'd be pretty bad. You go crazy, right? Then you'd come back.
Crazy.
Then you'd come back from crazy.
What would even be crazy? Imagine if you have your consciousness
Forever,
but
with
you're
nothing to apply it
disembodied,
to.
nothing to apply it to, and you're floating through infinity, and you don't have a body, so
That's
you're not
pretty
going to
bad,
die.
man. That's a pretty bad punishment. That's pretty bad.
It's not good enough.
Wow, that would be real tough.
Still not good enough.
That's
You should float
Unable
forever
to
through
die.
eternity while you're feeling like you're choking on dicks.
wow.
Like that
There's a little
feeling.
bit of-
We're like, for eternity. Because if you can exist for a second while you're choking on a dick, you could exist for eternity while you're choking on a dick.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that,
sure.
that should be the punishment for suicide bombers.
They had in The Simpsons when they had
Is that too harsh?
Homer going to hell, and then the devil or one of the demons was like, "So you like donuts, do you? Try eating 1,000,000 donuts." And there's just a conveyor belt that keeps like shoveling donuts into his mouth, and he keeps going, "More, please, more, please." And then he's getting all fat and big. He's like, "Please, more, another one, please." Yeah.
You ever do the Simpsons ride at Universal?
No.
It's fucking amazing.
Is it really?
It's crazy.
might
It's a
go next
giant
week.
animated ride. You just sit in a car.
Uh-huh.
It's one of the best rides ever. It's
Really?
so good. Yeah, and it's all happening on a screen, but the car's moving around, so it feels real. And it's an enormous fucking really high resolution screen where it's
Really?
showing this huge cartoon where this whole thing plays out. Oh, it's fucking great. It's really good. The Simpsons are a national treasure.
Yeah, they really are. It's pretty great. It's
Dude.
pretty great. My whole adulthood, I guess.
They've been on since I was in high school.
Yeah. Really?
They were like
yeah,
one of the
yeah,
first
yeah. With
Fox
Tracy
shows.
Ullman.
Dude, they were one
How
of the
many years
first
now?
Fox
25
shows.
or something? 30?
Something crazy like that.
30.
30.
Yeah, me too. High school.
Dude, it's forever
It's
ago.
always been there.
I'll never forget it. I remember, like, what a great show. Remember when Homer Simpson went to a chili cook-off and the peppers were so hot he started tripping?
Yeah.
And he had psychedelic trips.
You know what those peppers were? The merciless
The ghost peppers, right? Isn't that what it was supposed to be?
of Quetzalcoatl.
What is that? Is that what they
The
call it?
merciless ghost peppers of Quetzalcoatl, grown deep in the jungle primeval by the inmates of a Guatemalan insane asylum.
Yeah, that was a great show. God damn, what a creative.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing about like Bill Burr's show, F is for Family, too.
Yeah, I haven't seen the new ones yet. I heard they're
fucking
great. I heard they're really good.
Of course, it's great. Bill's hilarious.
Yeah.
But you could do so much cool shit on a cartoon that you can't do in real life.
Here, watch the head. Watch the head. There it is. There's it. We're backing up. But there's head again.
People get decapitated.
Yeah.
They get blown up. I mean, how many times did South Park kill Kenny?
Yeah. Yeah.
just
So
didn't
many
kill
that he's
him.
just back.
I mean, we didn't care that he came back. He just
Yeah.
comes back.
I love how later they sort of like dealt with it with like the reincarnation sort of stuff and the Saddam Hussein things. It's like
Yeah.
he remembers all his past lives.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I love when F is for Family because those are real type characters.
Yeah.
and they look real.
Yeah.
you know they don't look all like weirdo like Squidbillies type stuff. So
Right.
it's like this is you can believe these are people. And when the father is saying to his son, "Fuck you," it's like real sharp. Like oh my god, it's like a cartoon.
But in my opinion, like if you got to give, I mean, I was gonna say like the all-time best is South Park, but I don't really think there's an all-time best. But in
all been
terms of,
great.
they're all awesome. I don't want to like say this is number one, this is number two, but like South Park has had some fucking
My
moments.
current I won't miss that show is South Park. I mean, for years it's been that. You just don't miss any episodes. There is
Yeah.
no falling behind. There's no like, oh yeah, somehow I just stopped watching a couple seasons ago. It's just like every year I get so excited when I see those posters on the billboard now, on the billboards on the subway.
Yeah,
And it's like, oh, it's back.
it's a fucking amazing show, and it's been amazing forever.
You ever have Trey Parker on here on this podcast?
I would for sure.
Oh, you should.
I would. I'd have them both on.
And Matt, yeah.
You left Matt out. How dare you? You don't even care about Matt. Did you ever see that show where they show the making of South
6 Days
Park?
to Air.
Yeah.
It's great.
Fuck yeah.
Documentary. It's great.
He's humbling, right? Trey Parker? Like his work ethic and
Oh, yeah.
the way he goes after it, it's like, whoa.
yeah.
To get the fuck out of that guy's way.
Out of his way. It's pretty much that's that. He's like,
Yeah.
hey guys, I need to come out for a second. What can I do with this? And then someone will say something cool, and then right back in.
Yeah.
That dude from SNL working there that week, and he barely had anything to do.
Wow.
What was his name? It was yeah, Hader.
What's his name?
John Hader.
John Hader?
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader?
Who's John Hader? Oh, Napoleon Dynamite.
Hey, let me ask you this. What do you
Yes,
think
sir.
of Bill Maher?
I've never been a Bill Maher fan.
What do you think of this whole recent controversy?
Of him just casually dropping an N-bomb.
Yeah.
You know, he was trying to make a joke.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't work, but
I got it.
he was trying to be naughty.
Yeah, that's all.
But they're making it seem like it's something more. That
Anytime
he's-
it's words, they're like, you said this. It's like, yeah, said, not did. Did is worse.
but it's also
Does he not hire black people? That's a major issue if he's never hired a black person. But I don't think I've heard that. So it's like his actions aren't.
We were talking about before the podcast this thing where they were talking about the Clintons in Arkansas
Yeah.
in the governor's mansion.
Yeah.
What show was that? What show was it? Did you see it, Jamie?
I read it. I didn't see it on a show.
Oh, you
It
read
was
it.
Like it was getting passed around the internet yesterday. Also, I'll pull it up. For you.
It's got to be Russian disinformation.
It could be. Who knows?
But apparently it was about
when Bill Maher, when they go like troubling from Bill Maher, I mean, I get it. Even the Republican senator that he was there with was like, what? Like,
Yeah.
I'm a little uncomfortable with this. But sure, be uncomfortable. And if I'm watching a guy who uses words that make me uncomfortable all the time, I'll stop watching, I guess. You know?
Twitter erupts over news that Hillary Clinton used black prison labor while First Lady of Arkansas.
Newsweek.com.
And what does it have to do with JFK?
I don't know.
JFK pushed the Democrats to Democrat right in
It
1969.
pushed them to the right. And Hillary
And
Clinton
Hillary
did it in
Clinton did it.
2016.
Huh.
I don't know.
Here's the. Why is it not doing that? Here. Here's the quote.
Okay, when we moved in, I was told that using prison labor at the governor's mansion was a long-standing tradition which kept down cost. Clinton writes, she adds that most of the workers were convicted murderers, and she became friendly with, in quotes, a few of them, African-American men in their 30s who had already served 12 to 18 years of their sentences. Whoa. Despite their alleged friendships with these men, Clinton tells her readers, we enforced rules strictly and sent back to prison any inmate who broke a rule. Despite having no psychological qualifications, she later asserts that these men did not have inferior IQs or an ability to apply moral reasoning. but instead they may have been emotional illiterates. Emotional illiterates.
I don't know. That's what she's saying.
But I like how it says, despite having no psychological qualifications.
Yeah.
She later asserts.
Despite having no ability to say this, she said, yeah.
It's kind of weird, though, that,
Slave labor.
yeah, that is exactly what that is. I mean,
No, but it's this tradition. It's like, yeah, but that doesn't mean you should do it.
let's be honest. Like, how much are they getting paid?
0. What, fucking 1 pack of cigarettes a week?
Yeah, what do they get? They do not pay inmates at all. Oh, Jesus Christ. Clinton makes no mention of whether or not these men received any money for working for her and her husband. A 2016 article from Mother Jones notes that when it comes to prison labor, some states include Texas, Arkansas, and Georgia do not pay inmates at all. Holy fuck. On Twitter, Jing wrote that Hillary Clinton was a direct participant in what Sam Sway?
Yeah.
It's at Sam Sway on Twitter, I guess, correctly described as modern slavery. 100%.
Yeah.
Dude, that's 100% slavery. If you don't pay someone, you make them work because they did a crime. That's a crazy thing. Like,
We don't let them vote.
but you're making them work. That's what's crazy about it. It's like, it's not just that your freedom's taken away and they lock you in a box, but they also make you work.
Saying your lives aren't worth anything. We can make you do whatever we want.
Yeah, and that dude from Phoenix makes you work in pink.
Oh yeah, that
Joe Arpaio
Arapo
guy.
Yeah, he's a interesting case.
He makes you put pink on.
To embarrass you.
Yeah. Do you get embarrassed when you're wearing pink?
I wear pink sometimes.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not a big pink wearer. I will occasionally wear a pink.
I'll admit I'm not a big pink wearer,
Yeah.
but at the same time I don't care about it.
I'm not scared of a color. I'm a rational person. For
I
the
remember
most
in
part.
high school, like 13, 14, wearing pink ties and stuff, so like
Yeah.
shoal. Being a little embarrassed, but also being like, this looks good. And then learning the word salmon makes it way more easier.
You know, Gene LaBelle always wore a pink judo gi.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
It's clean and sober, it says on all of them. Clean and sober with pink shirts. Probably because they were drug offenders, right?
Yeah.
He gets upset. He wants everybody clean.
I mean,
Clean,
it's better than him
ing,
making like
and sober. Oh, there's an ing in quotes around it. That silly rascal.
And he's not taken out ever.
Pink. So judo Gene LaBelle was like one of the toughest men that's ever lived. Did his judo with a pink gi on.
Why?
Fuck you. That's why. Google judo Gene LaBelle. Judo Gene LaBelle was he was a. I know he was a national champion in judo, and I think he won a gold medal in the Olympics.
Dude, I saw Clay Guida see him once, and this was when Clay Guida was coming up, so he wasn't like, he was in the cheap seats with us.
Right.
And he saw Judo Gene in like the section where you sit, and he was like, oh, fuck. And he just jumped. I don't know how he got past security, just like ran past them just to go give that guy a hug.
What is Gene? There's Gene LaBelle and his pinky. What is Gene LaBelle's his accomplishments? He's had a shitload of accomplishments in judo, but literally
trained Rhonda,
he's the
right?
guy. He definitely did some training with Rhonda, and he's also the guy that exposed Bruce Lee to grappling.
Oh,
and
really?
to joint locks and joint manipulations. What does it say here?
National champion.
National champion. So he won the AAU National Judo Championships in 54 and in 55. North American Heavyweight Championship. See, NWA, all that stuff I think is like fake wrestling.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He is real wrestling and
NWA is fake,
professional
yeah.
wrestling. Yeah.
There's no tag team in real wrestling,
So
right?
he was a national champion.
Is there real-
For some reason, I thought he was an Olympic champion. That I might have made that up.
Is there Greco-Roman tag team?
No, that's not real.
Oh. Man, that should
So
be.
you can see, like, there's a million pictures of him wearing this ridiculous pink gi. How do I not know his accomplishments in judo? But and as far as like,
Yeah, look at that pinky.
yeah, he's crazy. He's always been crazy too. He had
He's
one
an
of the
LA guy,
first,
right?
Yeah. He's a great guy. He had one of the first mixed martial arts fights too. He fought a boxer.
Simone said he could. He would go down there with Piper. I guess Piper would train with him. Mm-hmm. And he said we'd go down there and he'd get calls all the time for people challenging him, Judo Gene. Like, I can beat you up. And he would just answer the phone all day, just going, well, come on, prove yourself. I'm here. I'll take you. All right. Well, I'm here. 8 to 7 every day. Bye. Just like telling people like, fuck you, come, I'll roll with you, I'll beat you.
He was like in his 60s, and he caught some kids breaking into cars in his neighborhood.
Yeah.
And one kid came after him, and he just fucking manhandled this poor kid and threw him on the ground. Can you imagine being thrown on the
By
ground?
some 65-year-old.
65-year-old judo black
I'll
belt.
show this guy what's up.
Blam!
What the fuck?
Yeah, he put 2 dudes to sleep while they're trying to break into cars. He's just a different kind of human being. You know, it's just like if he got a hold of you, it's like being grabbed by some sort of a primate. You know, like,
Imagine
what
the
he could do to
surprise
you.
that's on your face.
Yeah, you just feel so weak. If once you were in the air, you'd be like, "How is this happening?" Like before he slams your head off the ground, you got to be thinking, "How is he just throwing me around like this?" What a weird specialty. The specialty of throwing bodies
humans,
around.
yeah.
You could become really good at throwing people's bodies around.
Did you see that? What's it called?
Boom! That's beautiful technique.
Oh, nice.
Putin giving some kid technique off the sideline here.
Oh wow!
There.
Wow, that's good.
Boom! That kid has some technique. Oh, so Putin
Putin's
gave him
like,
a
hell
tip.
yeah, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, Putin walking on the mats with his shoes. Come on, dude. Putin would fuck up. I would bet Putin would fuck up all the world leaders if we had a round robin
You think so?
MMA contest with all world leaders. Yeah,
he might.
I got my money on Putin.
Definitely the big powers.
He's
Trump's
gonna
not doing shit.
Yeah, he's gonna win. He's an actual judo black belt.
Did you see this too?
Oh yeah.
It's real weird. This looks like this bird literally looks like it salutes him back.
Should. It's goddamn Putin. Bird knows his place. Salute, motherfucker. Salute.
What? That's gotta be fake. How does he bend his wing over?
You know, man, the real question with a guy like Putin is not like how much does he control. It's like what happens if that guy dies?
Oh yeah, who takes over that power
Dude,
vacuum?
the vacuum of power behind that guy must be stunning.
They're a democracy, right? Russia?
Sorta.
Totalitarian democracy?
Yeah. No, they have some sort of a democracy. They have some sort of an election process. Yeah. Yeah, it's
President Gorbachev, right? President
as
Putin.
long as you're not running against Putin, it seems to function fairly well.
He just took over again. Then he was the president, then he went away. He just came back like fuck you guys.
And took it over
I'm running
again?
I
shit.
think he came back again in 2012. So he's been back for a while. I
Yeah, but
think.
not that long.
Yeah, he was gone for a
forever.
while, and then some other dude got into power. And he's like, "Hey, man, you're the president." And the guy's like, "Okay." It's look, it's not admirable.
That's what the guy from Narcos did, right? He wanted to be just in government so he could run shit.
Yeah,
What was his name?
Escobar.
Escobar.
Yeah.
Pablo.
How good is that actor who plays him? I was trying
So
to figure out his
good.
name. What is his name? That dude who plays Pablo Escobar.
God damn, he's
God damn,
good.
that guy's good.
And he's smoking reefer all day.
All day.
Just like a normal thing.
I forget his name now. Respect.
God, that guy's good. By the way, if you're watching, what's it called? What's that name of that show?
Narcos.
Narcos. When you're done, make sure on July 18th and beyond to catch my new Netflix
That's a
double special.
smooth
You'll already be
plug,
on
son.
Netflix. No sense of going back out to the Apple TV.
Oh my goodness. What day is that again?
July 18th, Joe. It's Tuesday,
Wow.
July 18th. All over the world
Fantastic.
at midnight Pacific time.
Are you going on the road at all?
No.
No, just fucking around, coming up with material,
Come up
putting
with
shit
new hours
together.
in town in 15s.
Look like you're having fun up there.
Oh, yeah.
Was it weird to not be on stage? Or did you go on stage at all?
No. I went to one show in Phnom Penh, saw
Oh.
a show.
Did you get the itch?
No, they asked me. They knew me. They asked me to
Ooh.
go up.
Wow, and you said no.
I was like, nah. Well, one, I was like, I really want to see what like the fully long break would do. No sense of breaking it up.
Right.
Just for one set somewhere. It would be
Right.
cool to perform in Cambodia, to mark that off a list, you know? I like doing
Yeah.
that. That's my like bird watching kind of stuff. It's like what countries I performed in.
Cambodia.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I was like, no. Also, I didn't want to be going around for the next 2 months with the fucking bomb on my shoulders. Like, you know what I mean? I don't need to fucking walk around with that as like my last set.
Oh, so if you went up there and ate dick?
Yeah, and then I'm like, have I started losing it? I'm gone. I'm already nervous about that. I don't want to fucking.
No.
People are like, what do you do? I'm like, I don't even know anymore.
Yes. What was it like the first time on stage after that long break?
A little weird. I was telling a story so I could at least base myself in things that happened. Mm-hmm. You know,
A narrative.
yeah, a narrative. Less is expected. But then the next day, I did. Nate Bargatze was there. It was in Nashville. Oh, so that's when I came home. So they wanted to do this show in Third Man Records. So I just wrote them a letter, and I was like, hey, if you still want to do that, add it to the website. I'll be home. I'll just come home. I'll see it.
Right.
I'll check it. So I did Nate Bargatze and Friends the next day. And that was just stand-up, and I was like a little lost.
Ooh.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was rusty on the edges, and I got to like 12 or 13 minutes. I didn't want to do anything from the special. So I was just like, what do I have new? And I tried something that I thought of then on the road, which wasn't much. I kind of shut my brain off to that a little bit. Like instead of like writing jokes,
Right,
I was
just
like,
live.
nah, a couple like topics, and I was like, but that's it.
What if you had an awesome idea that just came to you out of nowhere? Did you bother writing
I
it down?
toss it. Yeah, I wrote like just an idea. Like I saw this hasn't worked, so I'll just say it. I saw 2 dogs at the end of fucking so many stray dogs out there.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere. It's everywhere, and eventually it ends up on menus too.
Ooh.
Just because it's like fish, man. They're everywhere.
Jesus.
Yeah, why wouldn't you kill one to survive?
Did you eat any dog?
I did not. Only because when I saw it on a menu, it's called RW in East Timor. It was like they have the Indonesian style of food, which is warungs. It's just like windows with like food left out. So you know how like pizza places in New York, you point to a slice and they'll take it and warm it up.
Right.
So it's like that, but they don't warm it up, and it's meat.
Ooh.
So it's like bits of fish or chicken or beef, and then that was like dog. So if it was hot out of the oven, I might have gone for it, but not leftover cold
Cold dog.
over rice. It looked good though. It looked
Did
good.
it?
I had to ask her 4 times what she said. I had to keep checking my like translator. And I was like, no, I think you're saying it wrong. She was like, yeah, she had to act out like bark, bark, bark. No, that's not a dog.
Yeah.
Ruff, ruff, ruff. Did I just do chicken? Trying to do dog.
My friend Steven Ranella was telling me that they regard it as a hot food, not necessarily even just meaning spicy.
Oh, really?
But the dog is like a hot food, meaning like there's something to it.
Oh.
It's like there's a special energy that you get from eating dog.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's dark.
I could see that. Because they seem more like intelligent. You know? They seem to have feelings.
Jesus.
Hot food, like human meat. You gain their souls.
He did a show with this guy where they shot and ate a coyote.
Yeah.
They cooked a coyote like they would cook like wild game, and they opened it up. They burned off all the hair, and then they split it and threw it over like a grate and cooked it over coals. Just threw some seasoning on it. It's crackling and cooking, and they just cut pieces of this coyote off. And it's like, and I was watching this going, why is it so disturbing when we choose one animal over another?
Yeah.
Like, why is that so disturbing? Like, why is that coyote any different than a pig, which is totally normal?
It's just pet-wise. I think that's all it boils down to. When you don't have that, you don't have it.
It's even weirder than that because nobody's got a pet coyote.
Dude, I saw something. Yeah.
It's close enough to your dog that it can
it's like-
fuck your dog and get it pregnant.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, we don't like that.
Yeah.
It reminds me of.
It's so close to a dog. It's so close to a dog that if it fucks your dog, it'll make puppies.
Yeah. I went to rooster fights.
That seems so crazy. Doesn't that seem so crazy?
Yeah.
Imagine if a chicken could fuck your parakeet.
And make something still
Just fucking
parakeety.
opens the cage and gets in the parrot's cage, just fucks the shit out of him. A chicken in a parrot's cage would be hilarious.
Yeah, they're different species.
Yeah.
But pretty
Chicken.
much they look like the same thing.
Chicken just
They
fucks
look
the
like
shit
dogs.
out of that parrot.
Oh, that.
All
yeah.
the time you thought you had a girl parrot. You know, the chicken opens up
Just
the
laying
door.
eggs.
Chicken gets in there, fucks the shit out of it. Roosters are
pregnant.
ruthless, man. I
Yeah.
don't have any roosters, but we were really worried when we were getting chickens.
The one would
really
turn out to be a
worried.
rooster.
Yeah, 'cause
we had
they
that
don't-
when I was growing up. My
don't
parents had to
always
give him
know.
away because so I had to bring him into the garage every night because wake up the neighbors. The fucking middle of the
Oh, yeah.
suburbs, and they're just like
What in the fuck?
2 hours before sunup.
Yeah.
It's not sunup. It's way before sunup.
Really?
They can sense it coming.
Oh, those cunts. Yeah.
Just screaming next to your neighbor. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we were in Santa Barbara and some guy had one, but he had it like 1,000, 2,000 yards away.
Really?
Yeah, it was far, but you could still hear it. But it was kind of cool because you
Yeah,
could hear.
yeah.
It wasn't obnoxious like if it was right next door. Like it was way across this canyon. I was like, wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't even bother me.
I got used to it being out there. All those countries, they just had them around. So wherever you were sleeping, there were thin walls. You just hear them.
Dude, I want to get peacocks.
Cool. We had peacocks.
I want to get pet peacocks. I'm going to go full Hunter S. Thompson and have some pet peacocks.
I had to bury one of them.
Did you?
Yeah, he fucking reached his head out of the lattice work to try to like eat the grass right outside, and the fox was just waiting for him.
Oh.
Took his head, left the body inside.
Foxes are clever.
Clever girl.
Very clever.
I went to a rooster fight in Timor-Leste.
Did you really?
Yeah, in terms of like what we accept and what they will, you know, different things.
Dude, they're doing that shit in Encino.
Are they really? I guess so, right?
You can go. I know a place.
Wow.
You can go to. There's places
I want
in
to
the
go
valley.
there for sure.
There's places in the valley that might as well be Mexico. Like you,
Have you
there's
ever seen
certain
one?
neighborhoods. I've never seen the actual fights, but I've seen the fighting roosters. I've seen
Yeah.
the pens. There's a dude that I know who knows a dude who's got like 100 of them in his backyard.
Wow.
Yeah. Dude.
Fighting roosters.
Yeah.
Wow.
In a lot of these like Mexican neighborhoods, dude,
Wow.
it's like super normal.
They don't view it as weird at all. Where I
No.
saw it, they were like, "You're not taking pictures." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't want to like, you know, get you guys in trouble." Like, why would it get us in trouble? What do you mean we're outside?
Right. In those countries, it's not bad at all.
The general owns the fucking ring where they all do it.
It's hilarious. But then if you can do that, then you can justify dogs. Like, well, what do we do about dogs? Well, dogs are a little smarter. It's a little different.
There's
Shouldn't have
strays
them
out there.
fight.
They are strays.
California authorities seize over 7,000 birds in the largest cockfighting bust in U.S. history. Wow. Jesus Christ.
3 weeks ago.
Jesus Christ. In the valley.
Valley
Santa
Verde.
Clarita Valley. See, I told you. I'm making this up.
That's meth town anyway.
So you say meth town, I say rooster town.
Hundreds of gaffs or slashers. Yeah, they put these
Yeah.
razors on the back of their back claw.
Isn't it? I mean, they give them steroids?
Really?
For the animals were also recovered
I didn't see any of that.
syringes and steroids. They got juiced up chickens ready to fuck you up. Can you imagine? I want to like do a Viceland piece on that. Watch these dudes shoot their fucking chickens up with steroids and have them go out there like and Hulk out.
Wow. 2,700 birds. They went back to the same spot.
But here's the
They
thing, man.
were at 10 years earlier.
It doesn't bother you or me like it would if it was dogs. It
No.
just doesn't.
But I'll be honest. Yeah, no, right. They don't look like us. Not nearly. But I thought it would be like really barbaric until you see it. And you're like, oh, it's not really that bad at all. I've seen dog fights. I was in New Orleans. And I saw a dog fight.
You did?
Yeah. Impromptu. I don't know. I was out with my friends. There was a pit. One fucking pit bull came in and another pit bull came into this pit. And we're like,
Wow.
what's going on? And they did it. And it was, I mean, vicious. It was vicious. These cockfights are just like, they fly at each other a couple times and then one gets like woozy, kneed,
Yeah.
and then falls.
It's a cockfight ring?
Yeah. Yeah, that looks like one. Inside, huh?
See, the dogfighting thing,
That's nice.
man, the dogfighting thing to those people, I mean, the people that believe in it, I'm sure they would argue with you that there's no difference between dogfighting and rooster fighting.
Probably
But
not.
Most people think there is because dogs are smarter.
It was
So we
just,
have
but it
a-
was also bloodier.
Oh, yeah.
It was just like more like them ripping each other's fucking everything out.
Yeah.
The other fights are over 30 seconds, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't even see blood most of the time. It's just there.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of animal, if I saw a dead animal on the side of the road, what would bother me more, a dog or a rooster?
It's on YouTube. They have cockfighting on YouTube. All
The
right, here
World
we go.
Slasher Cup.
Oh, the World Slasher Cup.
Yeah,
I've
they
been
throw
waiting
them at
for
each
this.
other.
Dude, I DVR'd this.
Watch, that guy's gonna hit the other one in the back to move him, or he's gonna pick him up and throw him towards the other one.
Is that what they do?
Yeah, they're not going at each other yet, so they have to really throw them towards each other.
So most of the time, if they put a rooster near a rooster, well,
See that?
they're
He's got it tied. Yeah, they'll come after each other.
They're probably like, what the fuck is going on? So in their back foot.
Now, here we go.
Oh, then they're going at each other. Oh my God.
And one will start pecking the other one soon.
So they're catching each other with these feet and
That have
and
razors
slicing
on it.
them apart.
Yeah,
with the
that's a
razors.
normal way of fighting too. See, the other one's
Yeah.
fucked. That one is
Oh
fucked.
my God, yeah.
He's down.
It's dead.
They
Oh
stop
my
it.
God, they must be both mangled though.
Oh, yeah, he gets tastes his
they
blood.
peck at him.
The ref has to choose when it's over. He's
Is
called
it dead?
He's called it.
Wow,
Yeah.
dude, that rooster got fucked up. Mm-hmm. Look how fast that is.
Yeah. So you don't even see really how it's like barbaric. It's just quick and over.
Do you think that? Well, yeah, because they're covered.
And then
in all
they
those
eat
feathers.
that one tonight.
Do they?
Oh yeah. So where I saw it, the winner, the owner of the winner, gets to eat the loser. They take it home with them on their bike.
Whoa.
And they're eating chicken tonight.
How weird. And do you think that rooster fights again?
I saw them sewing a rooster up.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
They said he gets 2 months off, gets to live a fun life for a while, and then he'll be
Wow.
back in fighting. But he didn't. So sometimes the winners get nothing happen to them. Sometimes they get a little fucked too.
Jesus.
Sometimes they both die.
Wow. These are the rooster houses?
Wow.
Said it's in Kentucky. But I don't
Holy
know if it is.
shit.
It just might
But wait a
say-
minute, that looks like a dog house. That looks like what they do with pits. Is that really roosters? That's crazy. There's
They're on top of it.
the
and they
place-
sleep under if it rains.
Yeah, I guess so. The places where they fight dogs, they'll have like a giant yard and they'll have like 10 dogs plus out there on chains, and they're all connected to these little tiny houses just like that.
Oh.
It's really creepy because they're not really dogs. I mean, they're dogs in the sense of they're the actual animal they are as dogs, but they're these
Not
things.
pet-like at all.
No, there's no pet to them. They're these things that have been, they're just bred to fight. And I'm sure that they can handle them. You know, I'm sure there's like a few commands they understand, but their life is not about being pet and loved
They're
and
like
climbing
they're
on the
like
bed.
Khaleesi's army. What's their name? What are they called,
The,
Jamie? Those ones with the dicks
forget.
cut off.
oh, yeah.
They were
What do
just
they call
slaves
themselves?
trained to fight.
They're eunuchs, but that's
Yeah.
not what they call themselves.
But Drago something. I don't know.
No, God damn it.
Yeah, fuck. That show needs to come back.
It takes a while. This
That show actually-
Unsullied.
Unsullied, the Unsullied. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what those dogs are. They're like Unsullied.
Yeah. Well, they have their dicks and balls though. The Unsullied, the problem with those
Right.
guys is they've been neutered, so they can't fight that good because they don't have any testosterone.
Yeah.
These dogs have everything. They're ready to rock and roll. They just live to fight, and that moment that they get to fight is like the only thing they're looking forward to in their brief and like really miserable existence. So the more they exercise them, the more they just train them and get them ramped up. They're just prepping them for this one moment where he gets to do what he actually wants to do.
What he's made to do in
And
life.
it's not even his fault. It's like that dog's bred that way. They've encouraged that behavior like generation after generation by careful selection, culling dogs that don't fit the criteria. Like it's one of the reasons why people love pit bulls so much. Like once you have a pit bull, other dogs seem so dumb.
Because they're so smart.
They're so tuned into you. And they're like I remember Squeaky Fromm?
Uh-huh.
She was like a little demon. She was like tuned into me and she would lock onto me. But if any other dog got anywhere near her and tried to take my attention, she would kill it in front of me.
Really?
She would just want it dead. It's like, get the fuck away from him. Like
Really?
yeah, they're very intense and tuned into you.
Jesus.
And a lot of people like it. Well, I got her. She was already she was a pound dog. I got her. She was like 11 months old, and she was cut up. She had definitely been in some sort of a fight, whether it's an organized one or something. But she was a mess from the moment I got her. She was just such a cute little dog and loved you to death. Just couldn't leave you alone. Want to sit right next to you, put her head in your lap. Just a big sweetie. Just the sweetest dog ever. But like these eyes, there's like they had like ready to die for you eyes.
Is that the one you had to put down?
Yeah.
That must have been
She
hard.
killed my other dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not good.
Fuck.
Yeah, they're the nature is not their fault. I mean, they've essentially been selected over many generations to be incredibly dog aggressive, incredibly prey driven, and almost impervious to reacting to pain.
Yeah.
That's what's so terrifying about them. Is that they don't care. They like to fight. They're not worried about getting hurt. They're looking forward to this. They want to do it. They're wagging their tail and they're biting each other. It's crazy. They wag their tails. They're locked faces on each other and their tails are wagging back and forth. Like they're having the greatest time.
I saw a thing for some like OC County Fair. They train their dogs to do tricks and shit. And they said they've gotten to the point where, this reminds me of this, where the treat they get for crashing the Frisbee eventually becomes the Frisbee. So like they're trying to catch, like, cool, I got to grab that Frisbee. Thank you. And then I could throw it again. So like, I got to grab the Frisbee again. You know, instead of like, I get the Frisbee so I can get this fucking piece of meat.
Right.
So it seems like those dogs too, it's like, oh, I did the task. Thank you for letting me do that.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do.
They get those working dogs. You ever been around like a real working German Shepherd?
No?
Dude, they're so intense. They're like a live wire. First of all, they're like a real big German Shepherd is probably like, I want to say like 90 pounds. Like, let's Google what's a big German Shepherd. It's not the hugest dog in the world. They're not like a Mastiff, but they are so fast and they're so taut.
Really?
They're just like fucking ready
German
to
Shepherds.
go, ready to go, and looking at you. And this dude was demonstrating different. He trains dogs for the police department.
Yeah.
And he was demonstrating different things. 71 pounds is a big one. Oh, adult male, 88 pounds. So yeah, close to 90 pounds.
I got attacked by one of those wearing a suit once.
Dude.
It's so strong.
Oh, they're so strong.
They just keep wriggling your hand until you're on the ground.
They're so fast. And you got to think.
They're so fast. They're on you. They let them go. Like, go, 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 jump.
Now think that, right? That's a 90-pound animal. Now think of a wolf.
Yeah.
Double that.
Oh, wow.
Double that and have it more athletic, stronger, much harder bite.
You ever seen a wolf in the wild?
No. Almost. I think I might have, but it was so dark. I could only see that it was some sort of a dog-like creature that was running across the dirt road ahead of us while we were in hunting camp waiting to get picked up.
Wow.
Yeah. Nervous.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, when you're standing outside in grizzly country and there's wolves.
So you can't wander off to go piss.
No fucking way.
You have to be together.
You have to be together and you both have to be paying attention and you should talk. And since it's late at night, you don't have to even worry about whispering. Like you're not trying to scare anything, you're trying to let things know that you're there.
Oh, right. So
Just-
they're not
just
so they're not
talk.
surprised by you.
Not surprised by you. They hear you coming. They can avoid you if they choose to. But if something decides that it's going to come towards you, look at the size of these wolves.
God damn.
Dude, if you saw a wolf
They
in the
killed
woods,
it. I wouldn't even trust that thing was dead.
I know.
I'd be like, ah,
Look
man.
at the size of these things.
Wow.
These
That
are
was-
enormous wolves.
Oh, that's a dead one? The one in the top middle?
You know what's really interesting? These wolves that you're seeing, although they're all just wolves, these wolves are wolves from Canada. And it's one of the reasons why they're so big. And
Wow.
one of the reasons why they've been so devastating to elk populations and deer populations.
Oh, look, that one's got a deer in his mouth. Half
Yeah.
a fucking carcass.
Yeah, a leg.
Just a leg with a,
Dude,
he looks thin too.
they're so powerful. They're just incredibly powerful, incredibly cunning killers that act in packs.
And love the snow.
They love it. They can do shit in the snow where other animals are fucked. Like they can run through the snow. They thrive in ridiculous cold environments because that's when other animals are vulnerable and they can wreak havoc on them. They're a crazy animal, man. But they look like a dog. So we have this weird connection with them where we think of them as dogs. Like, it's our friend. It's Mr.
Just
Fluffy.
because they're shaped the same way.
Exactly.
I mean, they do look nice.
Yeah.
And when you see them alone, you're like, oh, if that was, with no scale.
If I can remember, I'll tell you this bit I'm doing about wolves. Because a real encounter I had with a dog and a wolf, where a dog met a wolf for the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But it's that animal is not the same animal that used to be here.
Yeah.
They killed a bunch of wolves, so they had to reintroduce wolves to try to bring the population back.
Oh, really?
But when they reintroduced wolves, they brought them in from Canada.
Oh, so
they're
they're a
way
different kind.
bigger. They're like Canadian moose are bigger. The Canadian people are bigger. It's like polar bears. It's a fucking hardier climate up there, man. You get a different sort of an animal.
Oh, they got the wrong ones.
They got a big ass wolf. It was way bigger.
So you
They're
can't ever
huge.
just like go off because they'll wait for you to be alone.
Well, they definitely could if they chose to. Most of the time, they avoid the fuck out of people. They seem to know that if they fuck up and do something to people
People come
then
after 'em.
bullets start coming, and then everybody dies. Like, they're smart enough to kind of understand that. They're not smart, like, they wouldn't, they wouldn't do anything that you would think would be extraordinary for an animal. It's not like they have, like, superhuman powers. But they have an unusual ability to plan and coordinate.
Wow.
And they talk to each other. They yell out and talk to each other. And they give locations. And they all kind of intuitively understand what the task is. But when they're operating together, it's like, it's pretty stunning to watch, man. I've watched a bunch of videos. I never in real life, obviously. But a bunch of videos of them coordinating like an attack on animals.
Yeah.
Whew, dude, it's amazing. Like,
We heard we're at a, which campsite? Malibu Creek State Park.
you heard coyotes or wolves?
Coyotes. But I just like the way they were like sort of talking to each other too.
Oh, yeah.
But we saw a skunk. Or first we sort of smelled one and we heard two coyotes kind of like yelping. And we're like, they got sprayed by a skunk.
Wow.
For sure. We're just filling this in. We have no idea. But it's really seemed like that. Hearing them going, "Arr," like just a couple of them. And then later we saw a skunk try to spray us. Didn't have much. So we think that's the same skunk. that like sprayed out, and now he's got nothing left in the tank.
Does that work like that?
I don't know. This is what we all think. And then like a little bit later, so skunk kind of like came at us, but didn't like. He tried to spray. He got the dog. His dog, my friend Mervis, as you know Mervis,
I
front
think so.
bartender.
Yeah. Okay.
They got his dog, but just like a little bit.
Just bit it.
No, just like with a little bit of like spray, but like not much, not enough where it was like terrible, just bad. And then we heard like 10 or 15 coyotes all howling.
They'll
And we're
bite
like,
you too, right? A skunk's a predator.
Yeah, he was coming out with bare teeth and stuff.
I had a skunk trying to get into my chicken coop.
Really?
Yeah, and then I read about them. Like that's one of the things they eat. They'll eat chickens.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the spray is for self-defense, not offense.
Wow. But they'll fuck you up. Imagine getting fucked up by a skunk. Like he fucks you up and you smell like shit.
And you have to like heal your wounds and nobody wants to help you.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if like you got in a fist fight with a skunk in your backyard and he zaps you and then bites the fuck out
All
of you.
scraped
and
up and rabies.
And he jumps over your fence and you run inside, you're covered in blood and you're like, oh my God, this skunk bit the fuck out
And
of
your
my
wife's
face.
like, get out of here.
Yeah.
She's like,
You
I'm bleeding. I
smell
need
like
help.
shit.
Get away.
They don't even, she doesn't even care. Oh my God, you have to wash yourself outside. It's cold outside.
Get
Look at-
out.
Yeah. You smell like skunk. Oh my God, I'm never going to clean this up. Oh my God, this house is going to smell like skunk forever. I'm so mad at you. You're mad at me? If I got fucked up by a skunk, imagine a skunk biting your dick.
Yeah.
It's a skunk.
Oh, you'll like this. You love fucking creatures. For my trip, I saw Komodo dragons.
Oh, in the flesh?
Yeah.
Out in the wild?
Yeah. We went hunting them. Like
went
not to like
hunting
kill, but just
to
to
look
like
for
to
'em?
find them. Yeah. Try to touch their
Holy
tail.
Shit. To what?
Yeah.
What?
I found out later you're not supposed to do that, but I
Jesus
didn't know, man. I was
Christ,
real
boy.
close, and I just touched one.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, that's so
He
scary.
was sort of walking away, and it was like it's so close, and I was like just grabbed.
Ugh.
Yeah, they had these guys, these weird pointed like V sticks, like long sticks with like a little tip at the end that like can like put. It's weird, but this one guy we had was like way into snakes and reptiles and shit. He's like, let's go hunt, let's go find them. We went out into the brush.
I
It was
wonder if a
great.
Komodo dragon was the inspiration for that thing that the alien would do from the movie Ridley Scott movie Alien,
What,
when it
the-
would open its mouth and all the slime and everything.
They have all this bacteria in their mouths.
Yeah.
Like
I think
supposedly,
it's
if
like
you get bit, you're still gonna lose your leg.
We've gone over this at least twice, and I always forget which it is. That they used to think that it was a toxin, and now they think it's bacteria, or they used to think it was bacteria, and now they think it's a toxin.
Well, I
one
read
of those.
bacteria.
Yeah, it's like a botulism.
Yeah,
Like there's something
lots of different types of bacteria in, in their saliva.
and it's toxic.
Yeah.
And they know it. And so they'll bite an animal and fuck it up, and then they'll follow it around. So I was reading this thing about a water buffalo that this Komodo dragon attacked. They
Yeah.
saw it bite it, and then it followed it for like 2 days,
Really?
just waiting for it to
Oh,
croak.
so this guy I met in it's somewhere deep in. Okay, so it's the island of Flores is where you can sort of like be, and then
That's where the Hobbit people were.
Flores
Yeah.
in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean the Hobbit people?
There's little Hobbit people that they discovered.
Oh, really?
Dude, they discovered that within the last, I want to say 14,000 years ago. Is that what it was?
There's
Within
little-
the last 14,000 years, somewhere in that range, humans shared time on Earth with another kind of human being. It's a little tiny 3-foot tall human being that had completely different features than us. Yeah, really Homo floresiensis or florensis.
And that was from Flores.
What's that?
12,000 years ago.
12,000 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, that's nothing.
Okay, that's nothing. 12,000 years ago. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to imagine
twice as long.
that
As,
those people were just like us 12,000 years ago, and they were a tiny little thing, almost like a cross between a human and a chimp. They don't really know exactly what their skin color
I
was
like how
or what they look like.
put it next to a drawing of a full-grown like now man, and
Yeah.
he's shredded.
Yeah, he's jacked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck this little thing.
Perfect muscles. Doesn't ever eat fast food.
Throw some dick into this little critter.
Wow.
There was even speculation that they had eaten humans or attacked humans.
Do you think they bred with us, and that's why they're shorter out in Asia?
How dare you?
No.
That's what it looks like. See that one, the drawing on the far left, Jamie, with the guy holding a spear? That's what they think he looked like. There's a full-sized version of that. See if you could find that. Oh, Jesus. So these were like almost like what we were like, I guess, when we were on our way up the food.
And they just developed differently,
Chain.
so they sort of stayed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Australopithecus or something like that, like one of our earliest ancestors.
Yeah,
So
it's real
this
close
thing-
to Australia.
Yeah. Well, Australopithecus is like a modern human, but like one of the first versions.
Wow.
I think I want to say a million years ago, but I'm probably just making that number up. But you know, human beings in this form, they don't know the exact number, obviously, but they think we've been around in this form for only about 250,000 years, give or take
The
a few
Komodo
hundred
dragons
thousand.
have venom.
They do
not-
have venom.
not
Thank you.
bacteria.
Okay, so they used to think it was bacteria, now they think it was venom.
I gotta show you this picture. I saw one. We saw one on a rock, and you go like right behind like some some leaves and like some branches, so you get like, up close to them, and it's still sort of scary because you could probably get through the branches, but probably not. You know. And you could just take a picture from like that close. All the saliva's coming out.
Dude,
I'll show you this at the store one night.
can you imagine the horror that you would feel if a Komodo dragon was clamped down on your calf
Yeah.
and you felt all that hot poison going into your body and you were trying to get away?
Yeah.
And you broke free with a big chunk taken out of your calf, and it's about to leap on you, and you're trying to run away with a limp. You're
Yeah.
hobbling away and screaming no and running through the bushes, and you look back and you see it just taking its time walking
3 of them
towards
coming
you.
towards you.
Taking its time because it knows it doesn't have to chase you.
Just tracks you.
Because you can't go far. You're all fucked up now.
So wait. Oh yeah, there they are.
And you know,
So beautiful.
eventually it's going to catch you sick and shivering, and it's just going to start eating your asshole
They got
first.
these things.
Yeah, they just bite him in the legs and shit. But they got to be careful they don't get
They
stomped.
he smells with his tongue.
Jesus Christ.
They use the tongue to smell.
What a creepy fucking creature. A
Yeah.
giant.
So these buffalo, they're not natural to the
Look at
area.
that, look at
They've
that.
been added in.
So they
to
don't
feed
know
'em.
what the fuck this. Oh, they've been added in to feed them.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
they're
God.
growing shit, but then they die. They go to the watering hole, and the Komodo dragons know that they're going to go to the watering hole, and they just fucking wait for them.
And so he jacked him on the leg, and then he's slowly making his way towards him. Imagine if that was you, and you had to see that thing walking up the bank towards you.
Some guy got
And you'd
killed.
you'd be
They
like,
killed the
no,
boy.
I'm a person. You're not supposed to eat me. I can think and I can reason and I'm progressive
Uh-huh.
and I have health insurance. I have 2 credit cards.
They killed a kid.
I have to call someone. Don't eat me yet. I have to make a call. Hold on, let me get this text. Don't eat me yet. I have to check
Please,
my
please,
Facebook.
there's so much I
Don't
have to
fucking eat me. I'm checking Twitter.
Look, there's a bunch of them around that one.
Just going asshole first, and you're feeling all the blood rush out of your body while this creepy lizard's chewing on your butt.
They eat everything except those boars' heads because of the horns.
Really?
If they get, I mean, that's not a boar. I mean, an ox. If they get a boar, they finish the skulls too.
Jesus Christ. They eat the skulls?
Everything. So just those fucking, what they're called heads are the only ones left because of the horns.
What the
Fuck
fuck?
them up on the inside.
So they eat the bones?
Yeah, they killed the kid. They ate his stomach out. He went to pee alone. And they're like, oh, this one's by himself. So this guy I met in Flores, in deep Flores, his guide found a boar that had been bitten and was dying in the bushes. And so he was like, hey, you guys want to see some shit? So this boar's kind of like this, the venom had started to catch up, and he took him, and he dragged him to the watering hole, and he threw it in there. And they just ripped the shreds in front of them. He showed me this video he made. It was so fucking cool.
Jesus. What is it? Look at the size of the bone that guy's eating.
Yeah, they're all on something.
Oh my God.
Look at that.
There's something about them. They're the cold, unfeeling look in their eyes, like when he opens his mouth and you see all those teeth.
Saliva, ugh.
But that eye,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a real
Black.
creature.
All black.
That's a thinking creature that's trying to eat you. It's trying to eat either you or a buffalo. It eats a water buffalo, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't use knives. It's not using, and there's no fork. There's no
Yeah.
bullets. It's eating a goddamn water buffalo.
So we're going through waist-high grass trying to find these things. And then you see one pop its head up, like, it's there, it's there, it's there. And you got to, like, get behind it and try to, like, force it down the mountain.
No.
But there's other ones around, so you got to stay close, keep your eyes up. It's pretty cool, man. You would love that.
No, I
You're into
wouldn't.
monsters like that. You would love
I'd be terrified. I'd be terrified. I don't want to be around them, man. Why are you around them?
that. Oh, it was so cool. Well, I found out when I was in Bali, and I was like, I'll probably go to somewhere else from there. And this guy I met from Jakarta was like, you know how you're right next to the Komodo dragons, you can do that. And I was like, what? That's here? And it was just a couple boats, and you're fucking there.
Wow. Dude, fuck that.
No, man.
What if they got
would
you?
love it.
They almost got Sharon, what's her name's
Sharon
husband?
Tate?
Sharon Stone? Sharon Stone's husband?
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean they almost got him?
He was a newspaper man. He was a reporter,
And?
or a journalist rather. And he went to do something in a cage with Komodo dragons, and he had socks on. And the fucking thing thought its white foot. It was a zoo. It was
Oh,
a
really?
zoo.
At the zoo.
And he went
Yeah.
and got him? What do you mean?
Bit his foot. Bit the fuck out of his foot. Dude went to the hospital.
Crushing his big toe while thrashing its body around.
Yeah. What? He had to undergo foot surgery.
Oh.
Come on, son.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a shoeless foot. Oh, I thought it was a sock. Crushing his big toe. Ouchie wawa. Oh, the zookeeper asked him to remove his white tennis shoes to keep the 5-foot-long reptile from mistaking them for white rats. So, hey, yo, dude, take your shoes off. You'll be cool. Don't worry about it. As long as it knows.
And then he attacked that foot. It's like, why'd you tell me to take the shoe off?
Can you imagine?
I really thought I had a shoe on.
The feeling he must have had as that thing is biting his foot.
And that zookeeper must have been like, I'm really sorry about that. I
He
blame
had
myself a
severed
little
tendons.
bit.
They had to reattach severed tendons and rebuild his big toe that was crushed by the dragon's jaws.
Jesus.
Do you have to piss again?
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
do you have enough room in that?
I
Do you
have
want to
enough room.
empty
This has
that?
gotta be a half one.
Come on, man. You sure?
Yeah, but there's only a little bit left because I had to pinch
Don't
it back in.
overspill. Don't overflow.
I won't
when you're
overflow.
peeing.
Professional at this, man.
But here's the thing about animals like Komodo dragons and wolves. I love the fact that they're real.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that makes life fascinating is that there are these ruthless, merciless predators. Jamie's shielding his eyes from Ari's dick.
I'm censoring I'm showing him, but I'm censoring.
Oh, the image?
Yeah.
Why don't you just put the image on me for a
This
second?
is educational.
It's just.
You don't want to show his...
Jamie, could
Yeah.
you get away with doing this on YouTube or Instagram?
No.
We're
We
taking
might be in trouble just because we mentioned that you're peeing. 'Cause
What?
it's
That
lewd.
level of censorship on the internet? No way.
Here's the deal, dude. Do you know that if you whipped your dick out and took a leak in front of a school, you'd be charged as a sex molester?
Dude, I do that all the time, and thank you
How
for telling me because
dare
I will
you.
stop.
Yeah, for real. Like if you're walking past the school and you're like, God, I gotta take a leak, and you just innocently walk towards a patch of trees and you piss there, and someone from the school calls the police,
Because you had your dick out?
you have your dick
This
out
is
in
no
front of a
intent.
school.
You can't go like,
Doesn't
oh, come
matter.
on, guys. You know what I was doing.
I know a dude who got charged with that.
I know somebody we both know somebody who was hooking up with a girl on school property late at night. They needed a place to pull over so they could fuck in the car.
Oh.
But since it was on school property, but it was fucking 2 a.m., you know?
Yeah, they're trying to discourage that.
Well, yeah, I get that. They don't want the condoms thrown out the window at a fucking...
Just showing up for school in the morning, dropping your kid off. Your kid slips and breaks her hip because she stepped on a condom. Ugh. Those little shiny school shoes that kids wear with the hard bottoms don't get good traction. Just whoop.
So, aren't there like rules about doing stuff within 1,000 feet of schools?
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that.
There's so many schools in Hollywood. There's
Yeah.
got to be so much shit happening within 1,000 feet of them.
Wasn't that one of the issues too with pot shops?
Yeah.
Like
Oh, they
medical
can't open
marijuana.
up. That's how they fucked with them too.
Yeah.
You can't be anywhere
At
near
school
this or
at
that.
church. The church part's hilarious.
It's like,
If that's really the case, wonder if that really is still the case. But I get it though. If you really believed and you really believed that your church was sacred and important to you, you wouldn't want like one door down.
Yeah,
a bunch
maybe
of
not
people
one door
selling
down, but
weed.
it's not all churches. They're not the ones in with the lawns like you see in the movies. A lot of them in L.A. are just
Right.
like in between two apartment buildings.
But also the question is, who gets to choose? Who gets to choose that? Like how much distance
Yeah.
between a church and a liquor store? Well, I want to know, is selling liquor okay? Is it
Yeah.
okay? It seems like it's okay. Seems like a lot of people are doing it.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of people are buying it. It seems like we all agree. Okay? So if it is the case, why
1,000-foot radius of a church, not even
Pull
like
that up. Go
other
ahead.
That's
block.
the rules in Detroit.
What does it
These
say?
are-
Shops are also prohibited from operating within a 1,000-foot radius of a church, school, park, liquor stores, or other dispensary or a drug-free zone, such as a library.
They also must close by 8 p.m.
Other dispensary, liquor store, other dispensary. Okay.
This is all.
Interesting.
This is a result of people going, well, I don't want them right next to this while I'm doing that.
But this is saying that they can't be close to a liquor store. Like a liquor store is the same as a church. That's
Oh,
what
weird.
they're saying.
Weird. You're
They're
right.
saying a pot shop can't be the alternative to a business that's already established.
Oh, like a liquor store. So like,
That's
hey,
what they're saying.
Don't quit booze.
Yeah. Well, they're saying you
To go
can't
on
be.
weed. Do
So
both.
the liquor stores must have lobbied to have that put in there. They must have figured out a way. Is there a liquor store union?
Well, there's a state liquor board, so yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously that doesn't make sense. Like the church makes sense reluctantly. I get it
Yeah.
though; it makes sense. The
Liquor store doesn't make
the
sense at
school
all,
makes
you're right.
sense. The liquor store doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I just walk right next door after I buy some weed and buy a beer? Why do I have to go 500 feet further?
they don't have them here, but in Ohio they still have drive-through alcohol places. You just
They
drive
haven't-
your car.
they
right
have 'em in
through the
Phoenix.
garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's places where you can drive through and they'll give you mixed drinks.
Mixed drinks.
Yeah.
That's like how are you going to justify? I'm having this
Drive
later.
through bar.
Wow.
It's my passenger's drink.
Wow.
I wouldn't drink and drive, officer.
Yeah, and Louisiana, I don't think I looked that up. Your passengers can drink.
Can drink while you drive.
Only the driver can, or something.
Louisiana's on another level. New Orleans is on a totally different level.
Yeah.
Were you with me in New Orleans when we had this driver?
Sure not.
You didn't? No. We had this driver who's hilarious, a funny fucking dude. I wish I could remember his name, but he was cool as shit. We had him for a couple of days. And when we're hanging out with this dude, he was telling me that he got pulled over outside of New Orleans because he was walking on the street with an open beer. I forget where he was, some other city. And they pulled him over, and he had 2 beers in a paper bag. And when they pulled him over, he was talking to the cop. The cop's like, "Where are you from?" And he's talking to the cop. He pulls out the other beer and cracks it open and starts drinking it.
Yeah.
And the cop's like, "Is there something fucking wrong with your head?" And he's like, "What?" He goes, "Wait, where are you from?" And he goes, "New Orleans." He goes, "Oh, okay."
Oh, you don't know. That's
Listen,
not allowed at other places.
You can't do that anywhere else. And he's like, "For real?"
He's like, "Why? I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just walking."
I forget
I'll throw it in
where
the trash
he
can.
was, but he was outside of New Orleans for sure.
Yeah.
But he was saying that he had no idea that you couldn't crack open a beer and start drinking in front of a cop when he's asking questions.
Dude.
He's like, in my mind, I hadn't done nothing.
That's the best about Southeast Asia. You get a beer, you walk with it like a fucking free American. You're just like out there. You're not going to do anything. Have a good time, man.
Just too many dumb young dudes that would bring drinks and splash them on people and be walking on the street with open beers and be goofy.
I guess so. Maybe just here.
Maybe here. But London's got a little bit of that.
They drink outside. No, maybe not in the streets. They drink like in outdoor pubs.
I've seen it in England with people boozed up on the streets,
Yeah.
beating the shit out of each other.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's going to happen, sure. But it's like, don't put yourself in a position where you have to fight all the time.
I wonder what the argument is for...
It's not about drinking outdoors or not. It's about, like, don't drink so much.
Right. Yeah, don't get so drunk that you can't
Yeah,
control
but you can do
yourself.
that in one space or you can walk and do it. That doesn't matter.
I wonder what the argument is for a 2 a.m. like
Cutoff time?
Yeah, it's over.
It's all Christian shit, dude.
Is it?
It's all remnants of Christian shit. Who cares? Why can't we just be up longer?
Miami, it's like 5 a.m. and
New York, it's 4 or later. A lot of places, it's not a thing. I heard they're going to change it to L.A. to 4.
4?
Yeah. I heard they're
That'll
about to
make
change that.
the
Maybe
comedy
not.
store super weird.
They'll still close it, too. You don't have to
Why?
be up until then.
Why?
Yeah, good
There's
point.
guys who want to go up.
Good point.
We could have some weird ass shows, man. I might do a 2 a.m. set. If they ever do that, I might book myself for a 2 a.m.
Yeah.
set.
Dude, the Comedy Cellar, I go up a lot after 2 a.m. to packed rooms.
Yeah.
Packed. I mean, like, what time are those shows start? They start late, but they're supposed to start at like 11:30. And I'm up at like 1:45, too.
Wow.
And it's just like,
And it's
still
hot.
a great crowd. Yeah.
Yeah, if those are the kind of people that are up,
Yeah, sure. Come on.
yeah. There's a lot of people that are on different schedules. Mm-hmm. You just a place like New York, you can find 150 of
You
them.
can go at 11:30 p.m. like start my night,
Oh yeah.
and you still have a great long time.
Oh yeah, yeah. And people in New York, like they fucking go hard.
They go so hard.
There's so much drinking in New York.
You meet people after show, and it's not like give me your number. It's like let's go somewhere right now.
Yeah.
Let's just go to a bar. There's 30 within walking distance.
Yeah.
Let's just talk. Let's
And
go
they
somewhere.
they just drink. You know, Duncan had Greg Fitzsimmons on his podcast this week.
Yeah.
And I've only listened to the first like 10 minutes or so, but Duncan was talking about how different New York is in terms of like diversity and
Oh,
all the
yeah.
different
Everyone's on
cultures and
top of each
people.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's liking it. I've
He
seen him a
loves
couple
it.
times. It's been pretty fun, man. Just
Yeah.
have to be able to like booze up and like not have to worry about getting home.
Yeah. He loves it.
I walk home from the stand. He takes a cab. You know, it's the normal.
Yeah. Is he living in Brooklyn?
He's living in Brooklyn.
Of course he is, that
Yeah.
fucking hippie.
No, that's right for him for sure.
That's the
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was a Silver Lake kid, and then he went to, he's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
He's in like Williamsburg, right?
I think Park Slope.
Same shit, isn't it?
No, Williamsburg's past, like it's over gentrified.
Oh,
so now only
it's gone too
rich
far.
kids with style can afford it.
Ooh, I like it. I might move in.
Yeah.
It's my style.
Yeah.
I was watching one of those house flipper shows.
Yeah.
It was, what is the real estate $1 million listing? That's what it's called. $1 million listing
Some
in New
people
York.
want birthday effects.
And they had a house that was for sale in Brooklyn. That was like they built like a Georgia mansion.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn?
In like 1920, and they were trying to like put mansions, like Southern style
Whoa.
mansions in Brooklyn. It's like
back then.
11,000 square foot house.
So I can't
Crazy.
afford Williamsburg.
Really?
Yeah. I thought I had to go there because I wouldn't be able to afford Manhattan, and then I
Jesus.
found out when I got there, I'm like, oh no, Manhattan's cheaper now. The cool parts of Manhattan where I live, it's cheaper
Jesus.
than the cool parts of Brooklyn.
Why is that?
It's this gentrification has this path. At first you have bad neighborhoods. We're not talking about warehouse gentrifying. That's different. But like, ethnic gentrifying. First you have, or actually both. So first you have criminals or warehouses, and then the people who can are cool artists who have no money, they'll move in. They can get a giant loft for basically nothing because you got to worry about getting stabbed or having nothing around you. They start adding the art to the area, making it more interesting. Then people like Duncan and me come in, where we're like, we like it. I'm not gonna be the front lines of this shit. I need some place to go, get some food. But there's still criminals around or like lack of stuff. And then the rich people who don't have style of their own, they move in and co-opt the other people's style. And then you start getting too many like coffee shops, and then they start changing the laws to drive out the people who live there. Like there's a park where they all camped out in Gowanus, and every Sunday they would cook out there. And they started saying, the rich people was like, the smoke is going into my windows. So they started making laws about how you can't have cookouts. Yeah, and that pretty much just drove out the people who wanted to have that as part of their life. They would just like help. You don't make the laws saying it's illegal to be ethnic, but you make laws around it.
Dude, there's a park down the street from here
Yeah.
that we could go to. It's like only a couple minutes away.
Yeah.
And if you go there on the weekends, it's like a festival. It's like people use those barbecue
Yeah, they
grates
get
that they
down.
have out there.
Yeah,
they
they're-
get
it's
down.
great.
They set up picnic tables. They lay out a cloth on the picnic tables and paper cups and shit. And they got coolers. They're pouring like Kool-Aid and shit. And
Yeah.
they're cooking all kinds of different things on these racks. And there's like maybe 5-6 families spread out in these areas that are doing that. And then these kids are playing and everybody's running around. It's a lot of people that live in apartments that don't have a lot.
Yeah.
Like they don't have
exactly.
a big backyard. So now they just go to the park.
It's great.
It's great. And there's like this sense of community. Everybody's laughing, they got music playing, people are drinking.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to drink booze in the park? How's that work?
I don't know. I know tailgating, you got to use cans. You can't use bottles.
But if you're sitting there on a picnic,
I think you can.
Can you?
I think maybe
Should.
it's look the other way kind of stuff, if anything.
Dude, that would suck.
I mean, you got to be able to have a beer.
beer.
Have some beers.
You're having a cheeseburger in the park.
That's how I mean. Some of these freedom laws are like, I'm not going to do anything, man. Let me have a beer with my family. This doesn't hurt anybody. Well, if everyone did that, you're going to have drunks. I'm like, yeah, but that's not me. I'm not that.
What
so
if-
let me do it.
What kind of diseases can you get from one of them park grills? who's cleaning that grill?
Dude, one of the best barbecues I ever had was on top of in Vail, on top of the mountain. So we were skiing. I was skiing with his chef, and he had a bunch of fucking chicken in his back, marinating in one of those bags. What are those
While
bags?
he was
The Ziploc
skiing?
bags. Yeah. So he kept shaking it up. He's snowboarding, hitting jumps. He's just marinating his chicken. And then he's like, "Hey, you want to eat with us?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "Oh no," I was like going into the restaurant part. He goes, "No, out here. Just use that thing, and it's just make grilled fucking chicken up on the top of fucking
Wow.
in the Rockies. It was so good."
So did he have like a little grill in his pack too?
No, they had this public grill up there.
Oh, that thing.
yeah. They
So
had
he
that
just
you
got
could
some
use.
wood and stuck
There
it
was just
under
coals
there?
going, I guess.
Oh, wow.
People like to do that up there. Man, it was
Those things are so nasty.
so nasty. Who's on birds shitting on them?
Nobody's ever cleaning them.
Nobody's ever cleaned any of
Ever.
those.
But like, I guess the idea is once the fire gets going, nothing's gonna stay alive on it.
I guess.
Yeah. When that motherfucker gets red hot to the point where you could sear a steak, nothing's surviving on that. I mean, isn't that the whole principle behind cast iron pans? Like, you don't really wash a cast iron pan.
No, you
just,
don't.
You just sort of scratch out everything that's there, throw
Yeah.
some water on it. But like that dark blackness that you get from a cast iron pan,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but when I cook on one of those, I feel like a fucking man.
Cast iron grill, man. It's the
I
best.
feel like a man.
Skillet.
A cast iron frying pan. I feel
Yeah.
like a man. If you give me a choice, and there's a cast iron pan and some bitch ass fucking
It heats the whole thing up at the same
tungsten,
temperature.
one of those ones that you could like flip a cheeseburger without
You could
putting
cook
any
cheese, straight
what are those,
cheese on it.
non-stick.
Uh-huh.
Those are so gross.
In Myanmar, they use those nonstick pans, and now a lot of that got into your food because they've been cooking that shit for like 10 years on the
Just
streets.
scratching it.
Just street cooking. Just fucking, here you go. And you're like, shut off to it. Let's go.
Just eat it.
Yeah.
It's gonna come out in metal flakes. My dog ate a packet
Yeah.
of glitter.
Really?
And he shit
Shit
glitter.
glitter?
Yeah, he shit glitter. It's like roped up in his shit. I was gonna take a picture of it and put it on Instagram, but I was thinking it's probably like they could probably take that down, get mad at you
It's
for shit.
I guess.
I bet they could. I bet there's rules. You can't show tits on Instagram. Why? On Twitter, it seems like you could show people fucking.
Yeah.
Or do
Stavros, this guy Stavros, is a comedian. He's a fat guy, fat cute Greek guy. He's on my podcast this week. But like, he
Powerful
used to have.
again.
But yeah, that's how it was. But this, he used to take these naked pictures. He just liked his big fat naked body.
Right.
Sometimes you see butt, never dick, and he would just be naked with like one foot in front of the other. They were hilarious pictures, and Instagram was like, nah.
Wow.
He's like, come on.
How rude.
Yeah, people wrote blogs about him saying he's like body positive.
Instagram deleted a comedian's accountant. Bring back Stabby Baby. Stabby Baby?
Stavy.
Stabby.
Yeah, look how funny those are. The fucking
baby.
Mario Brothers ones.
Yeah, they're funny. You just see a butt cheek. You don't see like his asshole
Yeah,
or
just
anything like
cheeks
that.
and occasionally.
There's nothing wrong with what he's doing. Come on, Instagram.
A sad picture with fucking
Yeah.
ice cream over his
Over his
dick
hog.
where he dropped one.
Yeah, he's funny. Funny pictures. Why
Yeah.
would that be offensive? Like,
Yeah,
are we
they just,
that
like-
scared of nakedness?
I had one where I had to pay off a bag of bets on Punch Drunk.
A
And
bag of bets.
yeah, we just
How'd
did
you
these. We put bets in a hat, and so when you have like I think so and so is definitely gonna win, you know. I think Aldo's definitely gonna win. I think the other guy's definitely gonna win. And you're like, well, let's pick out of the hat. So you have to do whatever the bet says.
So what'd you have to do?
Wear a diaper for 24 hours. No shitting anywhere else or pissing anywhere else except in the diaper.
You shit in a
One
diaper?
One change of diaper. Yeah. So I had to piss in one, and I did it in the shower, and I took a video of it. And YouTube was like, nope, not allowed.
Wow.
We're even naked, wearing a diaper, fully wearing.
I think YouTube is like super
I hate
worried.
that shit.
They're super worried about being able to put ads on things, you know, and being able to keep things.
It's lame though. It should be free.
I agree.
James,
But who's got to pay for that infrastructure, son?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I guess so.
Can't be showing people fuck. That would be what YouTube would
Not
become.
fuck. Not fuck.
Okay,
you don't have
why?
penetration.
Okay, you can't be free.
You're absolutely right. I
Should be
changed my
free.
opinion. Absolutely, you should be able to show
Should be
fucking.
free. Show some sucking dick.
Yeah, parents, you want to put some blockers on there? Go ahead.
Do you know the story of that guy Vincent Gallo, the actor?
No.
Made a movie called Brown Bunny.
Oh yeah, he got full.
And
He got full head.
Sucked. She sucked it. In Chloe Sevigny.
Yeah.
How do you say her name?
Yeah.
And she just blew him on camera.
So she's second wave gentrification. When she comes into your town, you know it's about to be. You're still in it's cool and hip, but the Wall Street people are going to come in soon.
She's second wave.
Yeah.
What's first wave?
Artists, poor artists, who they afford to put up with the crime,
Right.
and then they bring a coolness factor to the area. You know,
coolness.
they use the whoever's living there, the indigenous, you know, cultures.
Yeah, like what they're doing in downtown LA, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
What is that shirt? What does it say?
Oh, Cold Blue Rebels.
Cold Blue Rebels.
You know Danny Lucas, the sound guy in the main room?
Yes.
It's his band.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
I love Danny.
It's a zombie rockabilly. Zombie Billy, I guess.
Zombie rockabilly.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool band, but I think they're breaking up.
So what's next, Ari Shaffir?
Well, so I got this Netflix double special.
More of this?
No, I'm good. July 18th. I've been building my new hour.
Oh shit.
I want to get back on the road and see more places. I want to see more things. Yeah, everybody, it's going to be a great double special. It should be really cool.
Now, when you're writing your
Yeah.
new shit, like when you're doing it now,
Yeah.
are you incorporating experiences that you had when you were on this walkabout? And are you
I love the term
physically-
walkabout. I love the term walkabout, first of all.
Are you physically writing them, or are you like having these stories that you're trying to work out on stage? Or
I do some of that, but my new hour is not going to be that. So those will be like side bits. Mostly, I'm kind of hearing what Rollins said too about how he does it, and it's like some time to process it. You know, use it as like references and things instead of like bits about that. You know,
right?
You know, we have like just a tagline about something and not the whole bit about something.
Right.
So just in terms of like, yeah, I incorporate it when it comes up, when I start thinking about it. Bill Burr said it once, where it's like, when Segura asked him a long time ago, like, how do you write a new hour? Like, what do you write about? He goes, I don't know. What's on your mind? What gets you angry? What gets you like riled up when you talk about it to your friends? That,
Yeah.
whatever that is. Write about that.
Burr's got an interesting thing going on too, because he does that podcast where he rants.
Yeah.
So it's just him ranting. So
Yeah.
his like ranting muscle
Yeah,
and his
it's really
ranting
good.
endurance, it's incredible.
I try to do that in my intros of my podcast
Oh, it's
a little
great.
bit.
Your intros are great.
Thank you. Appreciate
They're
it.
really good. I really love the one about Tom Segura and the bat and his expensive taste now. And it was very, very funny. And that was your first one back, too.
Yeah, that person, because I left going like, they're chasing me out of here.
No, your
Coming after me.
narrations and those things, those are some of my favorite parts of your podcast.
Thanks.
You're breaking down things and getting excited about things, your enthusiasm for these things.
Yeah, I tried early on to realize like, oh, this is where ads go. So I don't want to make it just addy,
Right.
but like, let's make it actual more content. Mm-hmm. And then if you have to throw an ad in there too, fine. But
Yeah.
like, here's going to be some good times as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't even have ads. I still do fucking 25 minutes.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, why not? If it's funny. If it's not, I'll re-record
They
it.
are funny, and it's also it's a different thing because you're getting a chance to see you sort of unedited, just ranting, just thinking about stuff and talking.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody told me I had one after Anderson lost for the first time. And it was just part of a podcast about this girl who cuts herself. Just talked about that. But like in the beginning, it was almost an hour on what Anderson Silva meant to me as a UFC fan.
Wow.
And how when he lost, it was just this weird way to lose. And I kind of forgot about it now, but it was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fun. But that went on for like so long.
Yeah, well, that's was something that was a real thing to you. It meant something to you. And That's
Yeah.
why it's interesting.
He was at my first UFC. He fought Chris Lieben, my very first UFC.
yeah.
I saw him become a champion. He was like my guy. I was at the fucking 4.5 round crazy ending
Yeah.
to Chael. I remember being in a ring with you and Dana and fucking Superman. What's his name? He won championships at heavyweight and light heavyweight. Randy Couture.
Superman.
Whatever his name was. What do they call him? What do they call him?
The natural.
Whatever. Yeah.
Superman. I was like, what the fuck is he talking
He
about?
looked at me in a way like I definitely got the wrong name, but whatever it is.
I was trying to figure out a nickname. Like, who had the nickname Superman?
Yeah, but we're all in just a ring, and it was like we're all talking about whatever stuff, and then one at a time, one of us, you could see them like thinking about how that fight ended. 4 rounds plus of dominance by one guy, and a last-minute fucking triangle out of nowhere to keep this one of the best champions of all time still in power.
Yep.
It was just so fucking nuts. And you see one at a time, Randy or somebody. I remember Randy doing it after someone else did it. They would just kind of go off, like you see them thinking about something, and they would just like shake their head and go, whoa, man. And you're like, oh, you're thinking about that fucking fight. It was right in the hallway right afterwards.
Yeah.
God, it was crazy.
Yeah, there's a unique feeling that you get when you're recounting like a crazy event where someone knocks somebody out or chokes
Yeah.
somebody out. You're like, Jesus.
You got a look
Like,
on your face.
How many times after the UFCs have we gone to dinner and been like, fuck,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And I saw Berg get that same look after at the Comedy Store in the front after the Baby Bird. At O&A. I saw him from far away talking. I was like, hey, are you talking about the Baby Bird? He goes, yeah. I was like, I could tell the way you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I'm working on, just building my new hour, and then I can get the fuck out of this garbage dump again.
This garbage dump Los Angeles, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
How dare
Hollywood.
you? How dare you? How
Yeah.
dare you?
Yeah.
This is the place where you've buttered your bread, sir.
No, I like it. The business end of it makes me a little mad sometimes.
The
but
business end.
Yeah.
I think
But
to be your friend and advisor,
Yeah.
I would say it's time to remove yourself from
Yeah,
the
maybe.
other side. You no longer
Yeah.
need to negotiate.
So it's fun to travel and stuff, is what I mean. Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Listen, man, you'll all get along way better when you don't need them.
Yeah.
Everybody will be your friend.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's all I'm doing. Working on a new hour. I'm just going to do it all about Judaism.
All about Judaism?
I think so.
Well, that's a good way to alienate the white supremacists, bro.
Yeah.
What an
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah.
You don't even care about the people who hate the Jews.
Yeah. Sorry,
not
guys.
even-
I've been culturally insensitive.
You're not even thinking about them.
I don't know. What are you working on?
We never found that video of the evergreen professor throwing his hands around.
Oh, yeah.
There's one video I'm pretty sure it's in, but I need to like double check and listen to make sure it's the part they're talking about
Okay.
because it was getting highlighted.
Someone
as
sent it to me, and they sent it queued up, like right where it is, and it's so hilarious. There's probably, you know what? It's queued up in a website. If you Google evergreen, what is he? The president? Evergreen. In evergreen, hand motions are a microaggression. Google that.
Hand motions are a microaggression.
And they have it. There's a website for sure that has an article where they show the video and they have it queued up. And when it's queued up, you can see the kids laughing when they get the teacher to put his hands behind his back.
That's them just
the
not
president.
knowing. Well, I'll see it, but that's them not understanding what they really are looking for.
They're just looking for
part of
power.
them feels like, haha, I made you do it. And another part says, that's a microaggression, don't do that. Where it's like, if you believe that, then don't laugh at someone for not doing it anymore.
What they're doing is just enjoying power. These kids have taken over the school.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Give me some volume. Don't point.
That's not appropriate. You gotta put your hands down. You
He's
know
apologizing.
You gotta put your hands down.
Why are they laughing?
Yes,
The dude walks up to the president's like, put your hands down. Put
So
your
he's
hands
got a
down.
hand, with his hands to his side.
Yes. Dude, and they're laughing at him.
The thing is that my ancestors were slaves and your ancestors were not. Your ancestors came here of free choice and decided to bring along my people of their not of their own free will to work and build this country.
My dad came after the Israeli army.
Just letting you know that slavery still has repercussions in society today. And that is what we're here about.
She's
Those repercussions. It doesn't
She's waiting for an applause.
It's not over.
yeah, she seems to not know. Oh, there she goes, trying to get off. And what does he do about that? He's clapping as well. He's clapping too. He needs to seriously stop. He's clapping too. Like you had a really good point.
You can't. At some level,
She's
you
saying
can't,
something
like,
we know. We already
you know
know
what I
that.
meant about just okay. That version of that super liberal left is feminists. You know,
That version of that.
there's a version of that, which is just the feminists. Like that version of feminists, which is what you
that
hear a lot.
version. Yeah, there's versions
The
of
bloggers
everything.
and the
There's versions
Yeah.
of masculinists too,
Yeah.
right? There's
that's the alt right, I guess.
is it though?
I don't know. I don't really understand. I don't know.
Seems to me like the alt right for more than a lot of what they're doing is having fun.
Yeah, it does seem like a troll. Like some of it's like just straight trolling.
Just a lot of it is.
You said this. I
They're
can't
all
believe
in
it. It's
on
like,
it.
can't you believe it? Well, maybe it was a troll.
I mean, like
I read
Milo,
some of it.
Milo Yiannopoulos. Surely
That
there's,
guy gets him so mad.
yeah. Milo is so theatrical. So much of what he's doing seems like he's having
Dude,
fun.
I love it when they get on somebody and you just like shit on them a little bit. They get like someone's a god to them all of a sudden. Beyonce after Lemonade, things like that. If you shit on them a little bit, you could get people so fucking angry at you. It's great. It's great.
There's never been a time like this, Ari Shaffir, where you get so many morons mad at you.
I love it. I love it. But yeah, so what I've noticed is that of the super liberal, okay, you know how like American sports fans are kind of dumb?
How dare you?
You know,
I can't
not
even
all of them,
believe
but
I'm hearing
on
this.
the more so than other places. We're not
You're
very thought
fucking
out.
rude, bro.
Our political like analysis isn't that smart. In the same way,
Somebody-
our liberal left, our feminism is some of the dumbest feminism in the world. Like other ones are more thought out and more interesting and more like just thoughtful in general.
Dude, I think you left America
Yeah.
and became a fucking turncoat. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think, though?
You should hear people talking. They're way smarter than the people we have. Like
So our people are just dumber?
saying this microaggression shit.
Right. What is that?
That's
But
us
that's our-
having too much fucking free time.
Is that what it is?
That is you've left behind what's actually wrong and you're jumping on, which is a lot. There's a lot wrong.
Yeah.
So like worry about that and calm down. Microaggression, you guys. It's not like there's better shit to do, so you shouldn't worry about what actually bothers you. This shouldn't bother you.
Right.
You know, take that same venom and put it into something that's actually happening. There's this forced.
Okay, but like that girl that stood up
Circumcision.
there. The girl that stood up there and it's like, your ancestors were not slaves. They weren't brought here. Mine were. You know, and slavery has repercussions. And then everybody starts clapping and it's like, you're right, but what is the
Okay,
point?
so what
What's
are you
your
having a
point?
rally for?
Like, what are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
it's all obviously ancestors. Like, when do we get over this ancestor thing? Like, how many generations in do we just treat people as individuals? And,
I've asked
and
people at some
recognize
point,
it's-
what do they want?
some people got an advantage for sure.
Yeah.
White people got an advantage for sure. 100%.
Okay, but it's not. It's more so, but it's not 100% of the time. So if I came from a divorced household, I didn't.
Right.
You know, and my dad wasn't around, and my dad beat my mom. You know, that can be a way worse and harder experience than the Cosby kids.
right.
you know?
Right. today.
Yeah.
But
so it's like just because you're this, it might make the odds harder for you, but it's not 100%.
But there's an origins thing, and one of the origins that every black kid has to face when they think about it is that someone down the line was a slave. And they're not slaves anymore, but that's why people who look like him are here. They're all here because someone brought them over here in chains.
Yeah, and they're still treated with remnants of that.
Right, and there's got to be a weird self-esteem or a self-identity issue attached to knowing that everybody knows that your ancestors were slaves. And there's a certain thing that people do when someone has something and someone else wants it. If you have a group of people that's different, it's like really easy to almost think of them as not you. Like that's how they've justified wars. That's how I mean, so many people by dehumanizing the other, and this thing that has to balance out that I guess is just the echoes of that is like we have to get so many generations away from people being slaves and any repercussions of it socially or economic. We have to get so far away that it doesn't factor in anymore where we don't care.
Okay, that's well expressed for sure.
Yeah.
I like that. That kind of like calm way to explain something rarely gets put out anymore.
Of course.
It's screaming and yelling.
You know why?
And like you're not teaching anyone anything. The biggest problem on the left and the right, but the ones that are angry, the angry mobs, is they never seek to educate. They only seek to like punish.
Also grandstand. They
sure.
want to make this big
You could hear in that
speech.
lady's voice. She was going for the audience clap 2 or 3 times, didn't get it, and was like, I'll keep going.
She's seen Oprah. She knows how to manipulate a crowd. She knows how to get those people riled up.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, that's part of being a person. Like, that's half the reward for saying something that's right is the love that you get from people when you say that it's right and they recognize it and they go, yes. So people get addicted to that yes. So they constantly do things that they think are at least perceived as being right. And they get very vocal with things when they perceive those things are going to get a very big reaction for standing up against them.
Yeah.
And it becomes this moral high ground, sort of grandstanding, peacocking sort of a thing, where they just are constantly trying to let everyone know how uncool it is to do this and how wrong it is to do that. Like, settle the fuck down.
Yeah.
Like, we can
Just
see what
setting
you're
up
doing.
a weird thing, and then sometimes they'll see something that doesn't quite fit in. Like they was trying to make, how they make rape broader and broader and broader.
Oh yeah,
which is I really does a disservice to rape.
It does.
To be able to make it seem like small. Anyway, they were saying coercion is rape, where if you talk someone into it.
Yes.
That's rape. And then a bunch of men was like, oh, well, if that's true, then I've been raped a bunch of times. And then the super liberal left was like, oh, we don't want to make that. We don't want to make you be able to be victim. So, okay, that's no longer rape.
Yeah. Coercion was one. Someone under the influence of alcohol, which was very questionable.
Yeah.
That's a weird one because we all know that there's different states of mind and that a woman who decides to get a couple drinks and then wants to have sex, if the man is sober...
That was a weird one.
It's supposed to be that you're not supposed to do it because she's under the influence. Like that was the argument that was being pushed.
The problem is it's too black and white. So it's like I know a lot of women who are like, oh, I can't have sex without drinking. I have to drink before I have sex. And it's like, oh, well, so then, okay.
Right.
It's a split. They don't all think the same thing.
Of course.
So some of them, the militant ones, want to say you're a rapist now.
Right.
And some of the other ones like, no, women can take control of themselves. They can have some drinks and lubricate themselves if they want to.
It's also really the only time we're ever asking people to, like we're saying, like, you don't have control.
Right.
You're not even responsible for what you're doing, as opposed to, like, driving.
Yeah.
Like, if you're under the influence and driving, like, no one says, hey, it wasn't your fault that you plowed into that school bus full of kids with your car because you were drunk.
That used to be the rule.
You couldn't control it. Well, it still is the rule, but I'm saying, like, they'll say that if it comes to sexual intercourse,
right.
But they won't say that when it comes to driving. Like, no one's going to say you couldn't consent to being behind the wheel. You were under the influence. It's not your fault. Like,
right.
You're supposed to know enough. Like, it's supposed to be deeply embedded in your head enough that you don't go into that car and start it even though you're
right.
drunk.
But sex, you're like, no.
Yeah,
that was
you
too
can't
much
handle
for
it. Yeah, you can't handle it. You don't know what's going on. It's
that
like
used to be in a sketch for drunk driving. You ran over somebody while you were drunk driving. They're like, I'm sorry, but officer. It's like, self-defense. I was drunk. Same shit.
Really?
I didn't do it on purpose. I was drunk. That's why I lost control of the car. Obviously, it's hard to control a car when you're drunk, right? So that's what happened to me.
When did it become illegal to drink and
I don't
drive?
know. I don't know.
That's a very good question.
I looked that up not too long.
60s?
My parents of my friends and whatnot, like they did it, or like in the 70s, or
Everybody's
whatnot.
done it.
Let's Google it
I've
and
done
find
it.
out. But let's take a guess.
I say 50s.
50s?
Late
What
50s.
year? Give me
I
a
say
year.
61. That's how late in the 50s.
I'm going to go with 69.
Okay. It is fun to say that.
I think I'm wrong, though. 73?
73. That seems so late. Maybe.
I feel like I should stick to the 60s.
The first state that adopted any sort of law was New York in 1910.
Whoa.
But
Boy, are we off.
I didn't know that cars then.
I feel like when I looked this up before,
I
Already
thought cars
people
were
are
like
drunk.
late 20s.
People were drunk 2 years into having cars.
Yeah, don't get on your horse.
That's hilarious.
tried to remember looking this up. I think like if sometime in the 50s or 60s, or maybe even as up to like 1980 when MAD started, that the states that weren't adopting it were going to get funding for federal road
In the
money and
80s.
stuff like that. So they had to adopt all the laws. That's like how they forced everyone in.
Dude, of course people would drink. It would be a bunch of people driving. Like, have you tried driving yet? I'm like, dude, it's awesome. And then someone's like, have you tried it drunk? I'm like, no, wow. I'm for sure going to do that. Sounds like a great idea.
See, that's where a horse is superior.
Yeah.
Because a horse isn't going to crash because the horse is sober.
Autopilot. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like a form.
You
It's,
can pass out on top of it.
it's
Get
like
me
a
home, boy.
superior form of travel in a lot of ways. You have
Yeah.
a relationship with this animal. You know, you go up to it. Hey there, Mr. Flapjacks, or whatever the fuck his name is. You pet him. You're a good old boy. I'm gonna get you some feed. You put the feed bag on him. He chews his food. Like, what the fuck, man? That's probably a way better way of getting around.
Yeah.
As long as you're not allergic to horses.
Yeah, that's way worse. Oh, if you're allergic to horses in the West,
Dude.
you're fucked. You're living here,
How
buddy.
the fuck is a person allergic to horses? This is how weak our gene pool's gotten, folks.
Yeah.
That's sad. I feel so bad for people that are allergic to animals and people that are allergic to pollen and people that are allergic to
I'm allergic to wool.
a lot of people close to me have allergies. It's so hard to watch because it's annoying. Like that there's a thing out there that can do that to them.
Just
like,
to them.
What the fuck is that? Doesn't even make any sense.
And it's not the thing's self-defense mechanism.
No, it's dumb. It's like grass. Some kids
Yeah,
are
allergic to
super
grass.
allergic to types of grass. There's kids that'll like they have celiacs.
Yeah.
My kids are friends with them, and you have to be real careful that they don't eat anything that has any wheat.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you have to be careful. They become too much friends with them.
No, they can't eat.
Start inviting them to your home.
They have to have very
Yeah, no
strict
soy
diets. Yeah, it's crazy. Real super strict diets because they have an allergy.
I've heard about it. Your hand
fucked,
gets all
man.
hot and like
Yeah.
things happen to you.
Dude, allergies are fucking straight. Like peanuts. Like if you have that, like
You can smell it 2 rows behind you in a plane. You're fucked.
Brian Callen's mom, he said on the podcast, he was talking about how she eats Brazil nuts. She gets like terribly ill.
Well,
Like
those
a
are the most
Brazil
expensive
nut.
ones.
They're gross though.
They're not that good. They're big.
Yeah, they ain't
They're
shit.
big.
They ain't shit.
Oh, macadamias.
Macadamia.
No, macadamias are good.
I
They're
like me
expensive too.
macadamia.
Yeah.
But nobody's putting Brazil nuts in chocolate. Get the fuck out of here with that big stupid nut. That's a big stupid weird tasting nut.
Unsavory. Fucking, it was a
How? What is
weapon.
that? You
Yeah,
have
it's
a
too big.
cashew and you eat that piece of shit?
You gotta fucking give me half of it now and half of it later.
Yeah, like if you told me, dude, you got to pass on one nut for the rest of your life. What's
Brazil
it gonna
nuts right
be?
off the
like,
bat?
Brazil
For
nuts.
sure, what I think about it.
Yeah, like I kind of like walnuts. It's an unusual,
Walnuts are
almost a
okay.
dry flavor.
Yeah, they're weird once in a while with some salt on them.
Imagine if there was like sommeliers for nuts,
Oh.
the same way there are for like wines.
Yeah.
Some dude like sat you down and was talking to you about the cashews he was about to serve.
Yeah.
This is a cashew from the Himalayas.
You could open up a whole restaurant called These Nuts. Joe, I gotta go take pictures for my Netflix double special called Double Negative
That's what
out
I hear.
this July.
Ari Shaffir, rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
I'm very excited that you're gonna have your special on
Yeah,
Netflix.
man, me
That's
too.
huge.
Yeah,
That's
all
huge.
the Canadians out there and Australians, you finally get to see something.
Will you come on the day you're gonna release it?
You're gonna be out of town,
Jesus, bitch. What day is it?
July 18th.
What about the day before that? Am I out of town then?
Yeah, you're gonna be on vacation that whole
Oh,
week.
okay. Shit.
Yeah,
Well, we'll work out a time. When are you leaving?
from here.
Yeah, when are you
June
jetting?
24th.
That's when you're going back to that dirty, stinky,
Yeah.
stacked up.
We could
rat-infested-
record one off this and release it later.
Record one off this.
Off, not in the studio. Let's
Okay.
go up on a hike by your house,
Let's do a hike.
and we'll do a hike podcast.
Let's do a hike podcast.
And you can put it out the day of.
I like it.
Would that work?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, that's what it is. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you download Ari Shaffir's Skeptic Tank. It's one of the best podcasts in the known universe.
Thank you.
And it's one that I never miss. It's one of
Punch
the
Drunk
few.
Sports as well. Oh, sorry.
yeah,
I thought you
Punch
said
Drunk-
this one you always miss. I
no,
misheard it.
Punch Drunk Sports too. Yeah.
But you listen to Skeptic Tank. That's great.
Yeah, I
I'm
do.
happy about that.
I'm not a sports fan so
Sure.
much, so the Punch Drunk. I'll listen to you guys when you talk about fights. And I
It
always
gets
want to
weird
call in and
sometimes.
go, no, that's not how it
I got my
works.
asshole bleached yesterday.
I heard.
Yeah.
I saw pictures.
Triply. I mean, Serena's had
easy?
to hold up in my butt cheeks. So
How'd that feel?
weird, man.
I would imagine. If you were comfortable with it, then it'd be a problem,
And
right?
this dude had his fucking finger right under the rim. I kept thinking he was just going to go forward.
So he had to touch your asshole while he was bleaching it?
Yeah.
What does
Glove.
he had a glove.
Yeah.
What did this guy look like? Can I guess? Can I guess?
Yeah, sure.
I would guess that he has like lip implants and Botox and is like an oddly shiny forehead, and he's got a perfect haircut, and he's very feminine but in a weird sort of a way, and he's just rubbing, and he's a suit on, and he has white gloves. They're white gloves, like with the lines in the back of them, like Mickey Mouse has.
Like a butler's glove. Well, to give you a hint, it's Sam Tripoli who got the person.
So he's an Armenian.
No, he was a gimp wearing a mask with a leather leash around him and a cod piece.
That's better.
He was looking for a porn star, but one couldn't do it, so he got this instead.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Was the person nice to you?
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
Beautiful.
I could see his mustache through his gimp mask, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, Skeptic Tank's
lot
back,
of
you
content
guys.
for you. A lot of content.
It's back every-ish week.
Yeah.
Depending if I'm not doing too much travel and stuff, but yeah.
All right.
I want to get Killer Mike on.
Yeah, me
If you're
too.
out there, dude, I want to talk to you about the
yours?
revolution.
Okay, well, let's get him in town. Have him do both.
Okay.
Or we could do a swap cast. Ooh.
Put it out wherever you want.
Yeah, you know what a swap cast is?
Sort of.
Bert and Doug do it. Like, it'll go up on Bert's and it'll go up on Doug's.
Just wherever.
Sort of like we did with the End of the World. Like, everybody put the End of the World up.
Right.
When we did the End of the World podcast on election night, everybody got it. We just sent a copy of it and everybody just put it up. Swapcast.
That's a cool idea.
Yay. It's democratic or something.
Yeah.
All right, folks, that's it. Love you. Bye-bye. See ya.
Thanks, buddy.